All right. And then I'm going to bring up my presentation right here. All right. All right. You guys can see my screen, right? I think. Yeah, that's good. All right. So, and for the people that are watching this recording as well, if you want to join those Q&A calls, you can go to maxpearson.com/apply Q&A. You have to complete the entire course to be able to join. But on this call, it's basically a quick guidelines. So if you have a question, you can, like here on Zoom, you can basically raise your hand. So you can just raise your hand and we go through one question at a time, essentially. And when you ask a question, it helps a lot if you're just like to the point. So it's very easy, and I do this myself. I've done this myself a ton of times in the past, that you kind of want to give a story, like a backstory of your question. Normally, that's not really that necessary. So just be to the point and kind of to the point with your question, so we can go through as many questions as possible, and also respect other people's times as well. So because it's very easy, and I do it myself as well, to go off on a tangent and then you like spend, time just runs away, and then there's always somebody else who's waiting to ask their questions as well. But those calls as well, we're here to have some fun and like learn to know each other and so on and so forth. So we normally say that we do like the business stuff first, right? So we go through all of the questions, and then normally what happens by just organically is that we have a discussion regarding something, and everybody tunes in. And we also do this monthly SMMA contest, right? So every single month I'm launching an SMMA contest, and we did the first one that ends today, essentially. And I'm basically giving back to the community, and it renews every single month. So the first one started November 19th, and it ends today. And the next one basically starts today and then ends January 31st. Then I'm going to have another one in February and March and so on and so forth. And how you win, it's basically like a transformation contest. It's not necessarily only by the amount of money you make, but it could be somebody making a huge transformation from module number 5, let's say, with their health or something like that, or somebody that's just starting out and getting their first clients quickly. So basically somebody who's maybe making their first $3,000 one month might win over somebody who's made $6,000 per month, but they're just starting out, or they have a bigger transformation, or whatever that might be, right? And the prize, basically the winner takes it all. So for this first contest, it is $1,000, and I will pay you personally. So we will announce the winner today. And then as we go on, maybe that will increase over time. We'll have to see, but it will be at least $1,000 every single month that you can win. And it's pretty much impossible to lose, right? So if you, even though it's just one winner of the $1,000, if you take a lot of action, implement and inspire others inside of the community, even if you don't win $1,000, you will still win and benefit a lot if you get a new client and so on and so forth. And use this hashtag inside of the community. So you just inspire others with your wins. And that's kind of how you enter the contest per se. And I check all of these posts myself. Let's see here. And I just fucked it up. And there's the first winner. Oh my Lord. Jeez, man. Okay, but here's the winner for the first month. It was supposed to be like this, and I was going to announce Cam, and he's not even here. And I see Sebastian is laughing. That's actually hilarious. Okay, but that's Cam. He won the first one, $1,000, and Cam is not even here. So that's I fucked that one up. That's one. That one is on me. But Cam he's not even here right now. But Cam has been doing an awesome transformation. He has like 3 to 4 clients, and I actually considered 3 to 4 people for this first win. And even some people that I considered, that I talked about, even said like, hey, Cam should actually be the one who takes the first one, essentially. But yeah, there goes my presentation skills. So yeah, but Cam is basically the first winner. Is there anybody who has anything to say about this, or any take on it? Yes.
I'm sorry. I just spoke with him before this meeting, and he told me that he was jumping into client meeting, so probably he's joining later. But yeah, sad to hear.
Yes, he's joining later, and I wanted to do like the big reveal later, but what a big anticlimax it became. But whatever, we have a winner at least, and Cam has been been taking a ton of actions. Or a ton of action regarding the course. So he's the first winner, and then I will basically showcase all of the winners here. So he has like that legend status now as well, that he's the first one. So that's a little bit of like a funny caveat there. But okay, maybe we can do the big reveal for Cam when he comes, and we can do it again and kind of pretend that we don't know who it is or something like that, so we can make it interesting for him at least. Also, what we do every single week for you guys that are new here is that we do like a weekly SMMA challenge, and this is actually something that Cam introduced or actually started with. So last week we basically he said that he was going to close 10 to 15 appointments, or he would do cold showers every single week. So, and you've already said this, Will, but how did the week go? Let's see if your mic is off. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, okay, I'm good. Sorry, I'm on my phone this time because it did go pretty well. It was like I got a lot of meetings booked on Monday, and then like yesterday and Wednesday were just, very, very slow. I wasn't getting a lot of responses, but I'm honestly happy with myself to get that many appointments booked, so it's not really that bad of a deal. And I'm also like very, very close to closing one client, as well as like giving another one a free trial here within like the next week or so. So I'm not that mad that I have to take cold showers. It's just going to be a little rough for me for a couple of days.
Yeah. Cool. And
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say, I'm not going to record myself taking cold showers every day, but I'm going to record the first one, so you guys know I'm serious.
Yeah, cool. And I also want to mention this for the people that are new here, that there's no mandatory to do this thing, and you don't have to have like a thing that you have to do if you don't achieve this. This is something that Cam started, and everybody kind of just did it themselves, but you don't have to do like like Harsh, for example. He was going to eat cooked chicken if he didn't reach his goal. I don't know if we have Harsh here today, but yeah, cool. How did it go?
Yeah, I mean, I did actually way more. It was 700 almost. So
good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and that was, by the way, chicken breast at least once a day, not all of the year, but yeah.
Okay.
Once a day for like till 31st. But yeah, I did like 700 and got a ton of booked meetings too. Most of them are like after Christmas, but like a lot of them are also like next week.
Awesome. Okay, cool. But I just want to make it crystal clear for everybody in here and that's watching as well, that you don't have to have like a punishment for yourself. That's something that Cam started with, and we kind of added on to it. But this is more so if you want to, you can kind of set up a goal for yourself that you're going to achieve until the next week. And I don't know if we have Luca here. I don't think Luca is here today. Bassi, I don't think Bassi has joined either. Liam is here, I think. Right?
Yep, I'm here.
Cool. How did the week go? Did you reach the appointment goal or?
Unfortunately, no. But I posted in the group that I'd hopped on the cold calling train, and so I started to actually see more results than I've been seeing in the last month or so. So I got one guy I'm going to call back today, try to get a meeting booked, and then 2 meetings for next week before the holidays. So
awesome.
So yeah, didn't quite make the cut, but I'm happy that I was able to actually start breaking out of my shell a little bit and doing the cold calling thing. So
good stuff. Nice. Awesome. And Luis, do we have Luis here today? I don't think Luis is here, right? Okay, and basically my goal was just to stick to my morning routine. After I got sick a couple of weeks ago, I kind of got out of my night routine, and I've been sticking to it, so that's good, and it makes a huge difference. But yeah, that's basically it. So let's start with the Q&A, and whoever got the first question can just raise your hand and we can dig into it. And also what I will say is that when Cam jumps in, it can be fun if we don't spoil it like I did. I'm going to remove the name here as well. All right. Okay. Let's start with Katab. Is that how I pronounce your name? Katab?
Katab, yeah, that's
Katab.
correct.
Cool. Good stuff.
Awesome. So my question is, what should I look for in a media buyer on Upwork? So I did get a couple who applied for my job post. What should I be looking out to get someone?
Yeah, so yeah, great question. So when I got my first media buyer, when I started, I basically did inside of the Facebook group, and I got a ton of people messaging me, like a ton of people, and I jumped on a couple of calls, but really what I looked for was that like Thomas that I ended up hiring, he basically sent me a Loom video, right? So that was the first time I got a Loom video ever. That's when I kind of learned about Loom, and he sent the Loom. He had a website where he had like a screenshot of campaigns. I jumped on a call with him, and he could like show active campaigns, and he could like, I told him that I was going to work with roofers, and he could like show me, give me ideas and so on and so forth, right? So it's more so just, and my point with this is just to kind of jump on a call with somebody, and you kind of get that gut feeling that they know what they're talking about essentially. So that's really it. And also ask them for like, have you asked them about any like Loom video or any screenshots or anything like that?
Yeah, both of them actually, like, I put a couple of questions and both of them responded. They have one of them has a company, so he has a whole team with him. I'm not sure that if that's like the best way to go, but two of them are, you know, they have good ratings, and they've been making money on Upwork essentially. So I might just make a meeting and see. I might wait a little bit to get more and see which one fits.
Yeah, and obviously if they have like some type of experience in your niche as well, that helps a lot also.
Right.
And also mediabuyer.com, I think will be launching now pretty soon. They have like sent out an email letter as well. So I think that is going to be really, really good as well, like a platform to find media buyers on as well. So
awesome.
Good stuff. Cool. Any other question, by the way?
Yeah, one more. Should I start outreaching now before I get someone hired?
Yes, I would do that. Like time is money, like just like kind of dig into it. And if you get a problem, then you kind of solve it by then. So I even got my first client and started doing the service delivery myself before I got the media buyer. That's how I kind of decided to get a media buyer, because I fucked it up myself essentially. The service delivery didn't work at all. So the faster you can do things, the better essentially. So yeah.
Awesome.
Good. Cool.
Can I jump in on that real quick?
Please do.
I made a post like, I don't know, it was like a month or two ago when I was looking for a media buyer. And one thing that I feel like is kind of underutilized is adskills.com. So it's like basically, you know, you can go and you can learn how to become a media buyer on there, but also they have kind of an auditing process where, you know, it's like a type form survey, and you go through the survey, and then, you know, they start reaching out to you based on the things that you know, the different fields that you filled in on the survey. So it's like a matchmaking system. So it worked pretty well for me. So
Cool.
Check that out, adskills.com. Just wanted to add that in there.
Awesome. Yeah, actually, that guy who runs that for AdSkills, he actually reached out to me because I think a lot of people from the course started to go through them essentially.
It's great. That's where I found my guy, and you know, he's like,
Nice.
oh, I got my own agency on the side, but I'm just looking for like white labeled freelance work. So I'm like, all right, that works.
Nice. Are you sick, by the way, today?
Yeah, I'm kind of, it's snowing outside and got, you know, all kinds of congestion stuff going on right now. So
Gotcha. All right. Will, let's go.
All right. So real quick. So this guy that I'm about to onboard next week, he has a new company. So he doesn't really have, I don't think the way I spoke with him, I think he was explaining it to me, like he doesn't have any of his social media pages up or anything like that. Is there any extra steps that I need to take to like help him out with that? Or should I just tell him like, make it and then we'll help you? Or should I just go about having my media buyer help me out with making everything else?
You mean like setting up the social pages? That was your question, right? I would just once you've like so here's how I would do it. So you do the sales call, you sign the contract, you get the payment. As soon as you have that done, then you book the onboarding call with the onboarding process, and then you set aside like 2 hours. And in the course, I give away like a checklist as well. Yeah. So I would just like go, like, for example, when you set up the Facebook Business Manager, I think you're going to do Facebook ads for the roofers, right? Yeah. Then you can just have like creating the Facebook page is going to be very simple. So you can help him to set up the Facebook page. You can tell him like, we need a logo and, you know, a thumbnail. And also you need a couple of posts, 3 or 5 posts or something like that, and put in all of their information. They can set up an Instagram account if they want to. It's not really necessary because you can do the Instagram ads from your Facebook page. So you don't really need the Instagram page if they want to, but that's basically all they want, or everything that they need. And also Google My Business page. So if you can help them to set that up as well, that's really good. And you can do that on the onboarding call. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. Okay, Joseph, nice to have you here.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually have two questions, and the first one is, my media buyer mentioned that the like bare minimum he would do his do the work is for like 500 around there, and I was wondering if it's a good idea to offer like a 80% discount on the first month, so it would hit his bare minimum, so I don't make money on the first month, but he does the work and it's good work, and then once we keep that retention, do you think that's a good idea to offer that discount on the first month?
So he, like the media buyer, charges $500 per month to manage the campaign essentially?
No, he charges a commission of 50%. So you said $1,000 you should charge as the bare minimum.
Okay.
But I'm thinking about, because what Cam's doing is he's doing free trials.
Yep.
And that's why he's able to onboard people so quickly. So that's one of the downsides of a media buyer. But I was wondering if that's a good idea to like offer a huge discount the first month to just get them in the door, get them like get service, and then if they like it, they'll stay.
Yeah, and just to clarify, does the media buyer charge 50% of your management fee? Is that what he said?
Yeah, the way he explained it is for the first 10 people I bring him, he charges 50%, and then past that, it's like we negotiate down to like, I'm hoping to get like 30% past that.
Okay, but there's no really way for him to know how much you charge, right? So if you charge, yeah. So if you charge, because it's pretty high, right? Because if you're charging 3,000 a month from a client, he wants 1,500. That's quite a lot, and that's only for one campaign. So it should be the other way around. Like, let's say you're bringing him business and he charge like, I would have like a cap of like between 600 to 800. If he's really good, maybe $1,000 per client or something like that. So yeah, I wouldn't go with a 50% deal, but that's no really way he knows how much you charge anyways. So it's kind of strange that way. But to answer your question, I think it's a good idea to do that if you want to, if you feel like you need to do that, just to kind of get your feet wet and get your first client. However, if you are also do this as well. So if you're offering something for free, or if you give them a discount, it's a great opportunity for you to ask something in return as well, right? So if you tell them that, hey, like, you know, since you have a media buyer, you can basically position yourself that, you know, we're starting out with our first clients in this niche, let's say, because maybe your media buyer has helped other niches or other clients in other niches. So you can basically tell whatever niche you're going to help now that, you know, we're starting out new, fresh with this in this specific niche. And that's why we're offering the first 3 people like a heavily discount or something like that. But since we're doing that, we also want like a testimonial or a written testimonial or a video testimonial or something like that in return, essentially. So I would say that. And also something that Danny brought up actually last week, which is a brilliant idea. And I think we talked about it in his interview. Something that you guys, for everybody here as well, that you can think about is that you don't necessarily have to, like, if you know a little bit about how to run ads, instead of just hiring a media buyer to do all of the work for you, then you can actually find a really good media buyer who's really, really expensive. And then you can just buy like 1 or 2 hours of his time, basically consulting. And then you can just ask him for one on a 1 or 2 hour call, exactly how he would do the campaigns for your specific niche. I know that's how Danny does it. He uses a super expensive media buyer, but he does the service delivery himself, but he consults a super good media buyer for 1 or 2 hours per month or something like that, and learns exactly how to do everything with the targeting and so forth. So that's actually something that you can keep in mind as well.
Yeah, and one more question. While I was doing cold calls yesterday, a lot of I don't know if I just caught people like in a bad time, but a lot of them were like saying that my etiquette was bad. So I was wondering if you can give me some advice on some good etiquette for cold calling.
Adequate, or sorry,
etiquette.
What's that? Adequate. What's that
Etiquette.
word? My English is failing me. Is it like how you?
How you're supposed to do things, like holding, open the door for somebody, or saying please and thank you, stuff like that. Yeah.
And what niche are you in?
Flooring.
In flooring.
Flooring install.
Do you know exactly, like specifically what they kind of meant when they said that?
Well, they gave me an example like, oh yeah, you should be saying your name and where you're calling from, this and that. And I was like, I said my name and I said my company. I'm like, okay, what else do they need?
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if I
Was
just
it
called them in
one?
bad time, but
Was it one or
it was
multiple
like
people?
it was like I think 3 that said that. Yeah, like 3 or 4 in a row.
Really?
I don't know if it
Okay.
was same company or something.
I would take it as feedback though, just kind of see if you can improve on anything, if there's anything specific. And if you get that again, I would just ask like specifically what they mean. But also like when you do cold calling or cold outreach, like some people are just not going to be the nicest people. That's just the way it is. You caught them in the wrong time, or they having like a ton of fires to put out in the business and they having a ton of other priorities. And then they get somebody who's trying to sell them something, and then, they just get pissed or whatever. And so, yeah, I would just continue essentially. That's basically it. And also, if you do you use a specific script or off the cuff, or do you have a specific offer in your cold calling or?
Yeah, I use a script. Normally my first line is like, oh, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm here to pitch you. So if you can give me like 3 seconds or hang up now. And then they decide, okay, 3 seconds. And then I pitch them like, oh, we're doing an offer right now, 80% off. This and that. And then they say if you want to get on a call or not. It's worked pretty good. I get like 10% book rate.
That's good.
So yeah.
I would just continue, man. Just continue. And I wouldn't worry too much about what they say. See if you can get any feedback, and if there's anything you can improve. Like getting feedback, that can be great, but sometimes they just, I don't know what they mean. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries.
Hey Joseph, hey, sorry, I don't mean to cut anyone off or skip anyone's questions, but I was gonna say I've had that problem too. Like I give basically the same pitch, just letting them know that like, this is a cold call. And sometimes they're just like, you're a terrible salesperson. I've had somebody call me that, and I'm just like, hey man, there's nothing I can do. Just have a good rest of your day. Like just brush it off as long as you're coming professional. And I mean, obviously take some feedback, but like if you have all the essentials in there, like your name, where you're from, or even just the company that you're with, and why you're calling, I mean, that's all that you can do. It's just sometimes you're going to have really, really closed-minded people that don't care, that are just going to say, hey, fuck off.
Yeah.
And it honestly helps because, I mean, once you have those couple of bad people, you can't really get any worse than that. I mean, so it's just, you just call until you find the right guy, the right interest company.
Yeah.
One thing I will say too, real quick. So I know that give me 30 seconds or whatever thing is becoming really kind of the thing to do. It's not necessary. It's you're kind of briefing them, but they already know it's a cold call, so telling them something that they already know isn't necessarily gonna work. So I'm no expert. I've only just started doing this, but what's really been working for me as far as along the lines of etiquette and respect is, say, thank you for taking my call, is now a bad time. And it's as simple as that, because then they say, no, not really. And then what do you got for me? Like that's mainly the most feedback that I'm getting for it's like they're like, yeah, what do you got for me? Because 30 seconds of your time is already, you're only going to get really 30 seconds anyway. So thank you for the call, and then saying it's now a bad time, and then you can end up getting, like, I chatted with a guy for 5 minutes and we talked about football and stuff, what I mean? So it opens the avenue for different ways that the conversation can go, other than just, this is what we do, this is who I am. It's a little bit more personable. I think it works well.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna split test that today. So yeah,
no doubt.
Thank you.
Just try it out. Let's see how it goes.
Also, can I just mention something? Hi, my name's Farhan. I was going to ask a question, but just on what you said, Liam, a really good point made about what the current cold script norm is at the minute. I feel like everyone is kind of using that script, where I don't know where you got that script from. I'm pretty sure it's from Thomas Gonnett. If not, then someone he got it from, which is, you know, you're picking up the phone and you're letting them know off the cuff that this is a cold call. And obviously, as people start to hear that again and again, they will know instantly from the get-go, right, this is one of the calls that I got last week. I need to get out of this call as soon as possible. There's this really good book called Fanatical Prospecting. I just happen to have it in front of me, and I've just picked up the page about cold calling and some of the etiquettes that Jeb Blount, who is the author, puts out there. Highly recommend you guys to pick up this book because it's one of the best sort of sales books out there. And I've got about 50 pages left, but let me just quickly go through. Let me just quickly just read this paragraph, which is an example of what you could do when you're sort of picking up a phone and trying to cold call. So in this paragraph, it says, "Hi, Ian, this is Jeb Blount with Acme Restaurant Supply. The reason I'm calling you is because I read in the paper that you're building a restaurant over on the 44 bypass, and I want to learn more about your process for purchasing kitchen equipment. I realize I'm calling a little bit early in the game. However, I found that when we get our design team working with your team before you make critical decisions about kitchen layout, you'll have more options and can often save a ton of money in construction costs and future labor with a more efficient and streamlined kitchen layout. Can you tell me how you make those decisions and when the selection process will begin?" So what he's done there, instead of jumping right in there and saying, this is a cold call, he's got their attention because he's told them, you know, who he is, why he's calling, and the bridge is the most important, because. And that because is bridging who you are, what you want, and why it is that they need to keep listening. And then rather than asking them, can we set up a call, you ask them a specific question related to their business, which is, you know, for example, I'm in the cosmetic industry. I'm going to be asking them, do you have any gaps in your booking calendar at the minute that needs filling? And then they would say, yeah, there is. Okay, cool. Then you would ask the question because you've got them interacting with you. Whereas if we're just reading out a monologue without, you know, skipping any gaps or without leaving any gaps for them to interrupt, because essentially what we're doing is we're interrupting their day. And the first thing that we want to do when we pick up the call from a salesperson is, how soon can I get them off the phone?
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, it's
so
good. And the book was called Fanatical Prospecting, right?
Yeah, Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blount.
Yeah, I wrote it down. And also what he did in the pitch was that he made it very personal, right? He showed the business that he has actually done the research and that he understands that business. So it's not like super cold, but actually did the research before he called the business. So awesome stuff. We can talk about more in just a second. I just want to go through the questions real quick, but that's awesome. I'm actually going to buy that book. So thank you for pointing it out. Good stuff. All right. Sebastian.
Hi,
Let's
Max.
go.
Hi, everyone.
It's good.
I wanted to ask you, have you ever been in a situation that your client runs out of budget for the ad spend for 1 month or whatever? So, or maybe you don't, you have like big clients, but what if maybe I work with real estate agents and if it's just one guy, sometimes like budget is really tight. So have you ever been in that situation, or maybe do you know what to do? Because I'm thinking right now it's happening to me with one client.
Got you. So it actually hasn't happened because we normally like agree upon the daily spend or the monthly ad spend upfront. So it normally doesn't happen. Like, have you talked with the client before, kind of what they want to spend per day, or kind of how did you agree upon the price? Or
the thing is that she was counting with one income that she was going to get this month to cover the ad spend, but she didn't. So she said, tell me, maybe we're going to like have to cut the ad spend this month or to after holidays. So what I've been thinking to do maybe is to start database reactivation, like past clients, and start seeing like campaigns through Go High Level, like SMS campaigns to maybe get some movement until she got the budget. But that's the only thing that I have like come with right now.
Yeah. Also, I would do that database reactivation, all her lead list, do like an offer, do a really, really good offer, blast that out, do like another reminder with some scarcity, some urgency, maybe it ends on a specific date or something like that. And I would also do like a reputation management campaign, see if you can help her get some reviews coming in. So I would do that. And Also, just make sure that she has retargeting on, like both AdRoll and Meta, let's say, so that she actually is running ads, but it's a lot cheaper. So that's what I would do. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Stuff.
One more thing you could do is reduce your what you're charging for that month. So let's say they need like $100 a month or whatever. You just reduce that amount from your charging and just put on to the next month, because if they can make money off your leads for this month, then they can just pay you back in the next month, add it like a credit almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
what I'm doing is helping her to build a better inventory, because what I saw is that the leads were coming, but the actual houses she had for sale weren't that good. As standard, like they were like a little bit off price, and I, as a real estate agent too, I know how to, like, I can tell when something is out of price, or maybe it's not good enough, right? So what I'm doing right now is I'm thinking on changing or pivoting her strategy from only like promoting her properties right now to start getting more properties, new properties, newer, with those email blasts or SMS blasts to like 100 random people of her database. Like, hey, do you know someone that wants to sell her home? We're going to do like free home valuation, right, for this month. I don't know, for holidays.
Yeah.
To start like getting her movement, getting her new inventory, and then with that, with better inventory, you're going to like have a better investment in ad spend and have a better return. Basically, I'm consulting her right now, and then that's my position. So yeah.
Yeah, and you're really good at the sales as well for your niche, so you can help her with that simultaneously as well. They have a ton of offer to give them, or the value rather. Yeah, cool. All right, Muhammad, let's go.
Hey Max, how you doing, man?
It is good. How are you?
Good, good. So last time I couldn't join. I mean, like I forgot about the whole timing, man. I completely like missed my calendar, got messed up. But I remember last time we were talking about. So I ended up hiring the media buyer, and I did some emailing, but instead of the emails didn't really work for me, so I ended up turning them into cold calls. And out of 10 cold calls, I got 2 book meetings. I did one on Thursday. It went pretty well. They said they would email me later on, like if they would want to join on and things. But I had a few questions regarding like since we're coming into the holiday season, doing outreach and getting results, do you think there's going to be a big impact on that? And with outreach, like the pickup rate, the book meeting rate, like because in where I am in New Zealand, like heaps of people go out on holiday, like because it's the summer as well, like they go away, their phone might not be on them that much, and like their response rate might not be that great. So what, like from how you've run your agency in the past few years, when it comes to the holidays, how does it impact results and how does it impact your outreach?
Yeah, good question. So like it depends on the niche as well, right? Like we all have clients in the US, so they just kind of work, and in the roofing niche as well. We have some clients. I actually had a talk with a client today, and this is their first year when they're actually selling through the winter season. And he broke $30 million this year, and they're just going all out. And I'm going to do a post about that later, just to kind of showcase how big of an impact our advertising actually can have on companies. It's pretty insane. If they've been doing a lot of just offline, and then you can actually bring them a system to do online, they can break records and do all of that, which is really, really cool. But it's just go back to like what niche and what country you're in, because here in Sweden, let's say, it's very, people are having a ton of vacation and off work and don't answer their phones and stuff like that. But in the US, in my niche at least, most of them just kind of work. They take a couple of days off and then, So
because in New Zealand, like when it comes to Christmas holidays, everyone's at the beach, everyone's camping, they're going away. They're not at home, So that's how I'm thinking, like if I do outreach in these times, like what will I still be able to book meetings and all that? And like, is messaging at this kind of time, will they be like pissed off when they pick up the phone, or like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of, I don't know. So I just wanted to hear your kind of past viewpoints on that.
Like I always think like this, that the game board is what it is, right? If you think of it as a game, it's just the game board is kind of set, and you can't really change that. So you can't really control kind of what the market is or what the stage of the market is. So you can really just trick yourself. Like if you're going in with a mental, you can decide for yourself that, hey, it's probably not worth it for me to do any outreach now because everybody's on vacation, and then that becomes your reality essentially, right? But if you just work through it and just do the best you can from the set game board, if that makes sense, then I'm sure you can close clients and get appointments and all of that through this period, even if there's, because there are always people out there who want to grow their businesses and make more money, even if they're out on a vacation or something like that. So, and even more so now than when it's like in the beginning of your journey. Like if you can learn this now, next year come around, you kind of know the state of the market, if it's slower or whatever it might be.
Yeah. And also just another question, if that's all good. How do you determine area exclusivity? Like with real estate agents I'm working in, do you do area exclusivity by suburb or by city? Like how would you do area?
Yeah, so the reason why we have like area exclusivity in our offer and so forth is because the clients love it, right? They want to know that you're only helping them in their area. And we do that as well. That's not just something that we say, but then sometimes it happens that you get another client that is like very close to them or something like that. So by area exclusivity, we basically mean that, we're not going to pick up another client in your specific area. We're only going to help you in that specific area. But also if we get another client and they're kind of overlapping with a couple of zip codes or like, they're overlapping a little bit, we're not going to make a big deal out of that. So but it's really powerful to have that in your offer, that we have one area exclusivity. It's also very powerful to have the cap on the amount of clients that you're working with. That's because that means if you say that to a client that we only work with 20 clients and we have area exclusivity, that basically tells that you're going to spend more time on each client, and they like that because they hate working with somebody that they cannot get a hold of and so on and so forth. So
So do you do it by city or do you do it by like suburb?
We basically just do it by the targeting. So we do meta ads. So if we have one campaign that is, Central Florida or, like Orlando, like 50-mile radius, let's say, that's kind of that area. So it's not by, it's basically by the targeting we do in the ad campaigns, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Because I think with us in the city I live in, it's kind of like separated by like north, south, west, central, east. So do you think that would be a good way to kind of say area, like just like to determine each area?
I would still, because you're gonna run cold ads, I assume, on, is it Meta or?
Yeah, well, for the agents that I tend to work with, because obviously they'll be listing their houses in specific suburbs, so the people in that area would want to see all from any other areas. So
I would, obviously I don't know exactly how you would do the ads for that niche, but I assume they are going to focus on one target. So either you can do it with the targeting, or if you can do it any other way, if they, I'm sure, like, I'm sure you understand like the concept of it. So the main thing is that they get one area, but if it overlaps a little bit with another one, I wouldn't like make too big of a deal of it.
Okay, man. Yeah, that's sweet as.
Cool.
Well, thanks, Max.
No worries. All right. Danny.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
It is good. Thank you for the call last week. It was good. Good stuff talking to you.
Oh, no,
how are you, by the way?
I had a great time. Yeah, really good. Been a pretty solid week of outreach. So my question for you is, when you started running ads, did you run them direct to your landing page, basically the exact same template that you gave us with the conversion event optimized for appointment bookings?
You mean for my agency or for my clients?
For agency, yeah.
For agency. We like the lead event is lead, so we don't optimize the campaigns for the scheduled appointment, but we do for the lead events. So that's the first thing. But and then also we use that exact VSL funnel, like the landing page to the video to the scheduling page and all of that. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, that's awesome. Thanks, man. That was pretty much my only question. How much minimum would you say to start with, like dollars per day?
So let's say like you get 3 clients and they're paying you at least $2,000 per month, preferably maybe like 3,000. That means that you're getting 9K in like revenue. I would, and you don't have a media buyer as well, because you learn from that media buyer, so you're saving some money there. But if you can start with, if you can start with $100 per day, basically a rule of thumb that you can use is that spend the amount of money that you get from one client, essentially, from 1 month. So if you're getting $3,000 from a sign up, then spend $3,000 per month into ads. Then you just need to make one sale and you make your money back, essentially. So that's a rule of thumb that you can use. Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Cool. Did you fix the client ad account, by the way?
No, it's still banned. And they're still
Okay.
pretty angry about it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's I'm probably gonna end up losing them as a client, I think.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah,
Let me know if you need any help. Like, we can jump on a call or something and see if we can fix it. No promises,
that'd
but
be awesome, man.
yeah, for sure.
I would really appreciate that. Actually, that's been a pretty significant point of stress for me for the last week.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we can let me know how it goes. We can check it out. No worries.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was all my questions. Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's continue. Let's do let's see here. Farhan, sorry to cut you off before, brother, but
No worry, Max. Lovely to meet you.
yeah, likewise.
I've got 2 questions. So the first one is about actually generating leads for us as agency owners so that we can approach prospective clients. What I'm doing at the minute, I haven't signed any clients. In fact, I haven't even started my outreach yet. I'm starting it. Actually, I'm going to be starting it today. But what I'm doing is I'm thinking of hiring a VA to generate leads for me, so that I'm not spending time looking for the leads. I'm actually spending the time contacting them, because I feel like a lot of time is going to be taken up by finding and also qualifying the leads. Because it's easy to just, go on Google and just find any, business, but I want a certain category. So do you have any sort of tips or advice on generating leads for agency owners?
Okay, so your niche is the agency owners?
No, so my niche is cosmetic clinics.
Okay, got you. But you want to find leads? Yeah. Okay, I got you. So yeah, basically, and your question is like tips for how to find more leads for your agency, essentially. Just making sure,
like
right?
the most efficient way, the most time efficient way.
Yeah. So in the beginning, when you can't, I really like to run ads because you can get calls quicker, and I just like the fact that you can reinvest money to do ads to get your first client. But obviously in the beginning you cannot do that, and it's not smart to do that because you don't have a proof of concept, you don't have the cash flow, and so on and so forth. Then it's just a matter of like what type of organic strategy should you do. When I started, and what we do a little bit of today still, but when I started, I only did the organic like outreach with the cold email. I did that quite a bit, and what I go through in the course as well over social media and so forth. However, nowadays, a ton of like you guys on the call here today, a ton of people that start out are doing cold calling again, and it's working really good. And I think that's because the reason why I think cold calling is working really good right now is because when I started, like my generation or whatever you should call it, we did a lot of like writing people and like texting people on Instagram. People are kind of tired of that. So the pendulum swings now. Kind of people are, the new thing is like cold calling, and it's not as common, so it works a little bit better. So if you're comfortable with doing cold calling, or if you can hire somebody to do that, I think that can be really good as well. But then it just goes back to like the new way I was talking about in the course, like doing it, instead of doing it in bulk and blasting people, have somebody that is really good in sales. And even if they do organic outreach via text, that they do like personalized and they give compliments and stuff like that. So and also focus on like one main avenue, and then cross-platform outreach, if that makes sense. So maybe only focus on LinkedIn, but if you identify a really good prospect on LinkedIn, you can reach out on all platforms. Yeah. Cool. Does that answer? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it does. Yeah. And also the second one is to do with specifically to do with me, because I've hired a media buyer and he seems great. But the only thing is that he's not able to provide any case studies because all of his previous clients were with him when he was working for another agency. So he doesn't want to, in good faith, be using another agency's clients to use on our website as a way to kind of, you know, build that credibility.
Yeah. Can you ask him to like potentially like blur out the name or something like that, just to show like the numbers, so you can use that in your own presentation or something like that? That could be like a solution. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's quite like, he wants to play it quite by the book, which is great. But I don't know. I mean, is there still a use case for him, which inevitably there is eventually when we sign a client? But the whole point of getting a media buyer now is to have that credible image, so that when we're taking clients through the sales process, they can see that, you know, we have experience.
Yeah. No, I think it's great to find, like, the whole thing with leveraging a media buyer is that you can leverage his knowledge, but also his past client results. So if you can tick both of those boxes, that's really good. However, if you've only found, like, let's say one media buyer right now and it doesn't tick both of the boxes, but you still want to try him out, I would still like try him out and see how he performs. And if it doesn't perform, then you just kind of continue and find a new one, essentially. So yeah. Like finding, and it's worth going through that process, because when you find a media buyer, that can be worth gold, literally. Because if you just find one guy who knows how to do the service delivery for your niche, and you learn how to do it yourself eventually, and then you can educate other media buyers, like, you know, it's just finding that one guy can like change your life and your business, essentially, if they know how to do really good service delivery. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, if I can get in on this,
yeah.
On the topic of finding leads, there is some programs you can use. One of them is called Phantom Buster, which Cam probably showed you guys, but it just scrapes leads off the internet. So you can do like Google Maps and it'll just scrape every bit of information you can, like that's publicly known. So phone numbers, emails, even social media. And you could do it through LinkedIn, but LinkedIn, it will ban your account. So I'll use a burner account. Same with Instagram, it'll ban you if you use it, overuse it. So I would use like a separate account. I've been banned twice on separate accounts.
Oh, shit.
On LinkedIn.
I've been doing it loads.
Yeah.
I've never been banned. I don't know. I actually got lucky.
Yeah, and wait, I forget what was your second question? Oh yeah, the media buyer. Yeah, I would definitely spend like a day. I would allocate like a day just trying to get a whole bunch of calls in with a whole bunch of media buyers. So use ad skills, use the groups, because I spent an entire day on it. I didn't do anything else except look for a media buyer, and I found one that has been marketing for like 13 years, and he's like managed like over $1 million of ad spend, and he has his own agency, which he's doing media buyer stuff for me basically, and other agency owners. So I'm leveraging basically his entire team and experience just for like that commission. So that's why I'm willing to do like such a big commission for him. So yeah, spending time on that is a good idea.
Awesome. And also what I can mention as well to you, Farhan, regarding like the finding leads and so on and so forth super quick is, here's kind of the timeline that we use and that I recommend that you guys use as well. In the beginning, you do organic outreach, and you can continue with that forever if you want to. But you basically do organic first, get your 3 to 5 clients, get a proof of concept, get some money coming in. Once you get some money coming in, either you can continue with the organic outreach if it works, or find like a VA that does it for you, or do paid ads for yourself. Once you have 5 to 10 clients, or even 3 clients plus, that's what we do right now, is that you start a referral program for your clients. So you can get your clients to refer you more clients, and we give them $500 per month if they refer a client. So it's a pretty good deal. And that way you don't really, then you can kind of escape, you know, the constant outreach, because maybe you just serve 20 or 30 clients, and then you have those clients bringing new clients all the time. So that's a really smart way. And we're testing that out right now. We have follow-ups and it's building out the complete system for this. And I'm going to share this for you guys as well in the course as soon as we've kind of proved it, which should be pretty early next year. So that's coming as well. All right. Good stuff. Let's do this. So before we continue, let's announce the winner right now. And so SMMA contest winner, let's go over it. So we have one winner in December, and then we're gonna have a new contest in January, February, and March. And I considered like 3 to 4 people for this first one. And from some of the people that I considered, basically the person I've chosen for this winner this month has been taking a ton of action, not only in their own agency, but also helping a ton of people out in the community. Been on a lot of the Q&A calls as well. And yeah, we're gonna reveal it right now of $1,000. And congratulations, Cam England, to the $1,000. And
Fucking hell.
yeah, and the funny thing, Cam, is that I fucked it up. So everybody on this calls already knew that you won, because I had this image like showing before. So I just did this. Oh
my god!
I just did this reveal for you, especially right now.
I appreciate that, Max.
Yeah,
I really do.
Worries.
And I'm not gonna stop working. I'm gonna get this shit. I appreciate that, mate. Really do.
Yeah.
And by the way, I did not land 2 clients this week, so I'm running 10K tomorrow.
Okay, that's good.
I landed 1 client.
That's good.
Still,
okay. Nah, but
I appreciate that, Max.
Yeah, no worries. You can send me, let's do this. So you have Stripe now, right? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So you can just send me an invoice of $1,000 and I will send it to you.
This is going to really come in handy. I'm being serious. Thank you very much.
No worries. Good stuff. And we're going to continue with this. And the next one for you, Cam, as well, that didn't hear. The next one begins today and ends January 31st. So I haven't decided yet what the pricing is going to be, but it's going to be at least $1,000 and it might increase over time, but we'll have to see. Yeah, big congratulations. Good
Thanks
stuff.
very much, man. Appreciate all your help as well along the way.
Yeah, no worries. Good stuff. All right, Joanne, nice to see you, man. I loved your video testimonial as well, or review, I should say. It was really cool. Nice to hear that you're from Spain as well.
Yeah, thank you. I'm now I'm in Estonia, so I'm in the cold, same as you. Is there a lot of snow in there, or?
Yeah, it's really cold actually in my apartment right now. It's like -10 or 12 or something like that. But my apartment is cold, so yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's really cold. Well, first of all, I just wanted to thank you for everything, and it's really nice that you're doing that for Cam. That's really nice of you. So actually, I had some multiple questions that this is regarding cats. So basically, as you know, I started running cats not a while ago and having really great results. But I just want to touch a bit more on what's your average cost per appointment on your VSL ad campaign.
For my agency, you mean?
Yeah, but I saw that you run the ads, so then they check the video, become a lead, then the VSL, and then they book appointment. So usually what are you paying for appointment?
Yeah, so our cost per appointment is like, and here's the thing as well. I don't really care how high my appointment cost is, because also what we do is that we qualify each and every single call quite a bit. So when we jump on a call, we kind of have the sale in the bag already, because we only help $1 to $3 million per year businesses, and our closing ratio is pretty high. So, we normally pay, like, if we run a cold campaign as we do right now as well, I think it's like $400 or something like that per call. We could get that down to $100 as well if we helped all roofing companies, but since we only help roofing companies making $1 to $3 million per year,
yeah,
I would happily pay $1,000 for a call, really.
Wow.
If I get a call for $1,000 and I close 1 in 3, that's $3,000, and then I get a contract worth, like $12,000 plus. And then we keep that client for a year. It's like, but also, so we do that, and that's working good. But what's working even better, and what I believe in even more right now, is just a referral program to get my clients refer business. It's just a lot easier, and we get easier calls and better clients and all of that. So
the good thing about referrals is that the sale is already there, right? And what you mentioned about the 500 euros, that's brilliant. I also used to do that, so that's really nice. So I was just mentioning this because I started running the ads on the VSL page as well, but I saw that basically everyone was leaving the contact information like first name, email, but then not a lot of people was really converting to the VSL page or even to the scheduled page and then converting. So I rebuilt kind of this strategy. I keep it much shorter, and now I'm getting like booking appointments for around $40, something like that. So that's really great.
Good
but
stuff.
the thing is, then it's like 1 of 2 meetings is serious, and then that's why I was asking to understand a bit better the numbers. But thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no worries. And also, I had something that I want to mention as well. Like a VSL becomes, or a funnel becomes very important, when you're selling a course, let's say, or a one-time off, like a product, because you have to dial your numbers in, because you're doing that one sale, and maybe you don't have any back-end offers or anything like that. But when you run an agency, you're getting paid monthly, and if you have a really good service, you can just keep that client for a long time. So
Yeah, that's really good. I also like with the customers I have that are for one is for 3 years and the other one is for a year. I work with them without contract, so it's all about trust and relationship is what you mentioned. So yeah, that helps. But yeah, just wanted to know that. So thank you for this.
For the bugs per appointment, you can teach us a thing or two now.
I can show you how I do it. I just keep it more simple. But basically what I'm going to do now for the BSL, I have a 12 fucking minutes video. You have 8. So now what I'm going to do, I prepared a new presentation that I divide these on 2 minutes only. So it's really, really, really short. And if that also doesn't work as how I do it right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it by images. So I say, okay, look, this is the problem and this is the solution. And then if they want to book the call, they already kind of know a bit better than from the ad. So I'm going to keep you updated about that, but I'm just testing a lot and I wanted to understand better the numbers. So yeah,
please do as well. And note as well that just because we're doing an 8-minute video doesn't necessarily mean that that's best for your niche. You know, in my niche, it's normally, of course. In roofing, they're kind of like, because we noticed that we asked them, like, did you watch the VSL video, the presentation? And like, no, I didn't watch that. So we wanted to make it as short as possible. But let's say you're selling to like, you know, other consultants or whatever that might be. Normally if I buy something, I would normally want to kind of study it a bit more. So you kind of have to tailor it towards your niche, I guess.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Excited to follow your journey, man. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna check.
Nice. Let's see. All right. Muscab. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice to have you. It's good. How are you?
Very good. Hello from Sweden, by the way.
Are you Swedish as well, in Sweden?
Yeah, I live in Sweden.
Where in Sweden do you live?
And it's a pretty small town, Örebro.
Oh, yeah. I'm traveling through Örebro all the time when we travel to our relatives and stuff. We always eat in Örebro. Good stuff.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So I had 2 questions. So the first one is, when outreaching, is it different leads I message on IG, Facebook, SMS, or is it the same leads but cross-platform?
So I would just focus on one outreach method first. So let's say you notice that maybe like LinkedIn is working the best or Instagram is working the best. I would just do that over and over and over again. But also, if you identify good prospects on Instagram, let's say, then you can see if you can find that same person on the other platforms as well. So I wouldn't do like new outreach on all the platforms simultaneously, but just find new people on one and then see if you can identify the same people on the other platforms also. That's what I would do.
Yeah. And the second question, I was on an interview with a media buyer and we agreed upon everything and he asked me for a contract, but I never heard of a media buyer contract. So.
Yeah. So I normally don't like to do contracts with the media buyers. Like we normally do like a mutual agreement that we do it month to month or something like that. I don't want to be in agreement with the media buyer simply because if he doesn't perform, I don't want to be stuck in a 3-month agreement or something like that, where I have to keep paying him. So, you know, if he really, really wants an agreement or a contract, then you can ask him like, what do you want in the agreement? Because like, what do you want us to agree upon? Like the price? Sure, we can agree upon the price that you're going to get paid or whatever, $600 or $800, $1,000 per month. But then there's not really much more to agree upon. Like if you agree upon month to month, you don't really need to have that in the contract, in my opinion. So I would just ask him like, what do you want in the agreement? Outline exactly what you want, and I can put something together or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Max.
Yeah, no worries. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 16.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jeez, we have a ton of like young people, and it's awesome. You're gonna get far, man. If you...
Cameron inspired me a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
I appreciate that, mate. I really do.
That's awesome.
I actually saw your message on Instagram.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I'll reply to you, actually. I'll reply after this call.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, keep us up to date on how it goes and everything, your journey, man. It's gonna be interesting.
Yes.
Good stuff. All right. Ahmed.
Hello, Max. How are you doing?
It is good. How are you?
Great. So my question for you is, do you have any idea about how to run Facebook ads for emergency type of services like water damage and fire damage, because they have tons of multi-million-dollar companies want me to run Facebook ads from them, and they already closed the clients who own damage multi-million dollars restoration company essentially. So
Nice.
I don't have any idea how to run Facebook ads for them because it's a weird nature. Yeah. So
Yeah, good stuff. And first of all, congratulations on closing the client. That's huge. And it's a big client as well, you said, right?
Yeah.
Nice. And what is your niche? Like, are you only helping one specific niche, or are you helping like multiple ones, or are you only going to help this niche?
Yeah, I only help damage and like water damage and fire damage, this stuff, restoration companies, like roof damage, and so.
Nice. So ultimately, like, you really need to find a media buyer, I would say, because it's going to help you a lot. Because if you have no idea how to run the ads,
problem because I can't find a media buyer for this because it's a weird niche. No one run Facebook ads for this niche, so
okay,
that's why.
Either you can like continue to find a media buyer. That's the first thing. The second thing you can do is to find a really good media buyer who's charging a lot of money, and only consult him, like pay him for a 1 or 2 hour consulting session, and just ask him like, hey, I want to do this. How do I run ads for them? And kind of get help that way. And the third thing that you can do as well, are you running Facebook ads, by the way, or what ads will you run?
Yeah, Facebook ads.
Okay. Do you know about the Facebook ads library?
Yeah, for sure. I already checked out this. Yeah. So there is restoration companies who run Facebook ads since 2019.
Yeah. Okay. So in there, I would scroll through that and get a ton of ideas about the ad copy that you can use. And also what you can watch, since you're in that niche, is that on my YouTube channel, I share exactly how to do my ads for our roofing clients, with the targeting on all of that. So you can pretty much just copy exactly how we do our campaigns, because I assume it's a local campaign, right?
Yeah. So I have to go broad in the ad set level. So
sorry, you cut off for a second.
Yeah, I told you so that I have to go abroad in the ad set level. So and test the different bunch of ad copies and creatives. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I would do the broad targeting in that specific area between like 30 to 65 years of age, because those people normally have a home, or 35 to 65 plus. So do broad targeting, both genders, automatic placements. And then in the ad, you can actually, if you check out, if you haven't already, if you check my YouTube video where I share exactly how we do ads for roofers, you can pretty much do the exact same ad, but for your specific niche.
Yeah.
And ask your client for custom ad creatives, like custom photos and such.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then that's a good start. And then would be great if you can find a media buyer as well to kind of give you some more guidance.
Yeah. Thank you, Max.
Yeah, no worries. Let me know how it goes. All right. Cam.
Bear with me. What was it? I've got a few questions about ads, if that's all right with you, because I've just started running ads for two different clients, and it's kind of like Chinese to me. I don't really know what I'm doing. But when you initially started running ads for your clients, first off, did you have like an understanding of what to do, or did you kind of just go full force at it with no idea?
Yeah, so when I got my first client in the roofing, it's like Nolan's. I only knew how to do ads for myself because I've gone through a course to kind of how to get consulting clients. So I had like a VSL for roofers, like a long landing page. It didn't work at all. It was super bad. And then when I hired Thomas, my first media buyer, he basically went through a super simple landing page with just surveys, basically as I have. Yeah, and he started to get results a lot better. So I just went into it. It didn't work. Then I found a media buyer and I sold it essentially. Yeah.
Cool. And do you test like multiple ads and then kind of single it down to one that's generating the most leads? And if so, how long should I test those ads before I kind of decide which one's the most effective?
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Because you're just starting out now as well. You're having your first clients. you're figuring out the sales, you're getting people in, but now you have to figure out the service delivery as well. And in the beginning, so it's a lot of chaos going on, but that's good. And in the beginning, right now, what you want to do is just to figure out what works, essentially. Because when you do figure out what works, you can just copy paste that to all of your other clients. So in my case right now, we already know kind of what ad copy that works. So we don't have to do a lot of testing. Like we're like, okay, this landing page is working, this ad copy is working, we have a new client in this area, we just do the same thing and it works, essentially. So, but now since you're in the beginning, you need to figure out what that is. Either, again, you find a media buyer to know so kind of how to do it, or like invest in some consulting, or I would do the dynamic creative. Do you know how to do that?
No, I have no idea.
Okay,
what is that?
Because you run a lead form ads right now, right?
Yeah.
So in Facebook, you create the campaign. Then under the ad set level, there's a checkbox that you can check that says dynamic creative. And when you do that, then under the ads level, what you can do is that you can upload like up to 10 images, up to 5 different headlines and 5 different body copy texts.
Oh, and it kind of tests all of those at once or some shit.
Yes, exactly. Right. And then you run that for, let's say, I don't know, you run that for a week or something like that, or 4 to 7 days. And then in the top right corner, there's a drop-down column that is like reporting, I think it's called. And then you can click that drop-down menu and you can like click on reporting, and then by delivery, I think it is. And then you can select, you know, headline, body copy text, and then you can see which headline and which body copy has worked the best.
Cool. I didn't know that, actually. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. No,
and hey Max, sorry to interrupt.
No worries, man.
There is a for Cameron, I've watched a 6-hour like Facebook ad course. It's called The Only Facebook Ad Course You Need. It's by Dylan Ponder. He basically like explained everything, even though like right now my service is not Facebook ads, but like he explains to you like exactly how to do the copy, and then like he has a campaign strategy that you can use basically for any niche if you want.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that when I have some spare time. And one other question, if that's all right, Max. So now I've had some money to spare for a bit, and I was kind of thinking about running paid ads. If I maintain these 2 clients after the first month, and then by the time I've kind of got paid for these clients, I think I'll have 6 clients kind of running ads for them. Do you think I should wait until I actually hit, say, you know, 9K a month, as you mentioned earlier, or should I just go for it if I can kind of afford to lose a bit of money on that end?
Here's what I would do. Since you're just starting out now as well, and you're on the roll, like you're actually doing really good work with your organic advertising.
Yeah.
I would sit down with the quarterly planner that I have in the course. I think I'm sharing that, you know, Q1, Q2, Q3. And I would just plan out like Q1, January, February, March. You just continue what you're doing right now. Don't invent anything new. Just like Q1, just do what you're doing, get more calls, just stick to that, stick to the plan, build in the discipline to just call, learn more from your market. And then in Q2, you can have like continue with organic and start to plan my paid or something like that. And then like mid Q2, you can start to run your ads or something like that.
Yeah, I like the sound of that, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much, Max.
Yeah, no worries. And also with your targeting for local campaigns, since you're going to go through courses and might learn, I know that a lot of people are saying different things, but right now for local campaigns, like broad targeting normally works the absolute best.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Don't test too many interests and stuff like that, but just go broad if you do local campaigns.
So by broad, you mean literally don't put any interests or?
No, just do age and location. You can test some interests as well. We're doing that continuously, but broad always works the best right now for our local campaigns.
All right. Thank you. I'll get that changed.
Yeah. Cool.
Can I also add something on that?
Yep, please do.
All right. Basically, I'd like to point out that, by the way, my name is George. This is for you, Cam. I really love what you're doing. Basically,
thanks very much.
You can also check out the dentist's niche on how other marketing agencies run their ads on that niche, since they're pretty related,
similar,
you know, medical, I believe. And so I have found like a guy named Keaton on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure you can find lots of guys doing dentists for dentists.
Oh, doesn't he do orthodontists or something? Are you talking about that guy? It's Keaton or something.
Yeah, Keaton, exactly. And it's a pretty big niche, as you know, very saturated, as you call. But so this is good for you because you can find lots of information about Facebook ads for that niche, and you can get many ideas about that so that you can apply for your niche.
100%. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
man. Appreciate that.
Beautiful.
Also, I saw that your ad copy was pretty long, Cam. You can try
Yes, it
short.
is.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. But I would just play around with it to do some shorter versions and try to get like either you call out your target market on the first line.
Yeah, I have
You know,
done that. I've done
Yeah, and
that.
also play around with like your offer, the most valuable thing that you offer, have that on top in like all caps or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'll try that out. Thank you.
Cool. All right, we've gone through everybody now, right? Is it? I've talked Harsh. I think I haven't spoken to yet.
Hey, how's it going?
It is good. How are you?
Yeah, it's going good. I signed one more client on the free trial. I mean,
There you go.
it's like it's not a free trial, it's a pay after the results kind of. So yeah. Yeah, good stuff. And
Nice.
I just wanted to first congratulate Cam, man. I always see you on the calls whenever I'm here, and you're taking a lot of action, also posting on Facebook. I'm actually a little bit lazy on that one, so I just
Thanks, man. I
improve on that.
appreciate it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all about, I mean, I don't mean to kind of take ownership here because, I mean, without sounding like a suck up, I mean, without the course, I kind of wouldn't really know where to go. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'd be kind of directionless. I would have been kind of scrambling from video to video pretty much, or I would have spent money on a course. But it's all about just taking action on the things you know you need to do, but that can be quite, you know, you can be hesitant to do them. For example, you know, cold calling, people kind of try steer away from it because, you know, you're actually talking to people in comparison to, you know, email where you might not hear back. And in regards to sales calls and things, as I mentioned when me and Max had a call, like when somebody cancels a call on me, I actually have a sense of relief. It's like, you know, I don't have to come out of my comfort zone and, you know, waffle on for 30 minutes and try and close a deal. And it doesn't get me closer to actually what's going to move the needle, which is the service delivery. Like when I went to run ads yesterday, I was sat there like, shit, this is it now. Like this is where it actually matters. And I've been, you know, I think a lot of people kind of try delaying to get to that process. But you just need to go for it, to be honest, because once you've done it once, then it's kind of just rinse and repeat once you know what's working anyway, as Max said.
Yeah, exactly, man. And one thing I actually noticed that you're running SMS automation campaigns. And I don't know about the UK, but in the US, there's some strict laws around that. And you can get charged like a ton of money if someone like maybe puts a case on you or something. Because like if you're messaging like 3,000 or 4,000 people a month, there's a high chance that there's going to be at least one person who will put a case on you, and it can cost a lot of money. I know a lot of people who have done that and face that consequences. So you might have to look into that.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I haven't really looked into that, to be totally honest. I was kind of just sending messages, but I mean, it's working out, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of got it on standby at the minute because I'm not doing as much outreach as such. Because I mean, I've got like 6 contracts waiting to be signed, so we'll see how that goes.
But that's the whole GDPR thing, right? That you have to like sending messages and email. And I think High Level has an integration for that. So I would look into that. You have clients in Europe.
Yeah,
I think they have a solution for that.
Thank
and
you.
also, Cam, if let me know as well, like if you want to jump on a quick call or whatever, or review campaigns or something like that. I'm open for that.
Yeah,
as well,
thank
so.
you. That'd definitely help. So I mean, I'll drop you a message about that if that's all right with you.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks very much.
Cool.
Yeah, so coming to my question now. So as you know, like I'm 17, right? So I'm thinking of like I've just burned the bridges, and I already had decided to, you know, not pursue with the university route and drop out after high school, basically. So just wanted to know your perspective about, you know, universities, college, and what I should be doing, because shit's getting real now, honestly. So I gotta decide.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Cam talked about this as well earlier, and it's like, you know, I don't wanna steer people away from, you know, your studies or whatever. Like, obviously, you have to do what you want to do and like follow your own gut feeling, but you're also under 18, so like your parents actually have a say in what you do as well. But just like, here's basically what I told Cam, right? I think it's like just make sure that don't do something because other people don't think that you should do it. You should do it because you want to do it, and have like just go for it, essentially. Just follow your own gut feeling, essentially. But then you have to take all of the other things into consideration. Maybe it's smart for you to continue to study and do this on the side, or maybe it's best for you to quit and just go all into the agency. But if you're really gonna quit, I would make sure that you have like a true proof of concept before you quit. So make sure that you have like 1 to 3 clients, that you're getting some money in, and that you're getting to this point that, you know, now I'm actually getting money. I want to scale this thing, and this other thing is hindering me, and I just want to go all out on actually scaling it. So that's how I would think of it, as at least, to kind of get a proof of concept first. Okay, it's actually working. Okay, now I double down on this, essentially, if that makes sense.
Do you mind me adding something to that?
Yeah.
So my kind of thought process recently, I mean, I've been kind of trying to make money online for a while, but in my opinion, I mean, the best approach, I'm not saying just drop out, because I'm not doing that. I'm going to kind of wait a little bit because I kind of have to, but it's kind of like, could you see yourself in the job that, you know, in a job to the thing you're studying at the minute? Do you genuinely enjoy that?
Nah, never.
This is the thing. So, I mean, just because everybody's doing that, then you know what? It's as simple as, you know, if you go full force into something and you accept the fact that you will either do it or you will literally, you know, go homeless before you don't do it. And it sounds excessive, but it's true. If you put full force into everything, you know, something, and it's all you think about all day, you know, you're bound to do it, you know. I mean, I'm kind of just thinking, you know, get rich or die trying right now. This is the only option. I don't want to ever work a job, and I'm never going to. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my process is right now, because I'm thinking, like, if I don't stop trying, there's no way that I'm going to fail, right? And I think I have like a couple of clients to prove that it's kind of working for me, I guess. So yeah, that's what my thought process. And the other thing is, like, if I go to college, maybe for anything, maybe even business, there's one. So the college professor will be making 50K a year teaching me business, and here's Max Pearson making 50K a month or even higher teaching me business. So that's kind of a thing. So yeah, maybe I think I mean, I'll not totally drop out, as I said. I'll just stop studying and just give the exam, honestly.
That's what I'm doing. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, that someone posted that Chat GPT the other day, and I was like, "That's genius." I've got an assignment due in like a week, so
yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through the system and just not study probably. Yeah, thanks, Max, and thanks, Cam, also.
Cool.
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that you talk about that as well, like burning your bridges, right? And also, like, you're gonna learn so much more from in business than actually doing it yourself, than listening to somebody who's like never started a business himself, teaching about numbers and shit. So learning about sales and all that stuff is gonna help you a lot more. All right. And I'm not saying numbers is not important. I'm just, I'm sure you get the point. But George, I haven't talked to George yet.
So this is, I guess, officially my greetings to you, Max. I know you
Awesome
get a lot
to have
of
you
these,
here, man.
of those. Man, I really appreciate the whole thing you have done. Like I said on my testimonial, I've been here since week 2, and I just love the whole thing you do. So I get to meet you in person. This is lovely for me. This is a big day for me. So anyway, I'd like to ask something that, since Cam is around, so. This is a question. Basically, I've been doing cold calls and cold outreach for the past 5 days or so. And what really bothers me is as far as the cold calling goes, I really cannot seem to get through the gatekeepers, through the front desk. And I'm very much struggling with that, because I've seen lots of videos on that and what lines to use, and people make it seem very easy. You know, they just speak to the guy. Yeah, I'd like to speak to this guy. Oh yeah, sure. And then, you know, he speaks to the owner, basically. But this doesn't work for me, and I'm very much struggling with it. So I'd like to have some help on that, if you guys know anything about it.
Yeah, so like Cam is more in the trenches of doing cold call himself. So I think Cam has the better say in this right now, actually.
Do you want me to be totally honest with you? If I pick up and I can just, I can almost tell they're sat in a receptionist chair, just like, hello. And then I go, is the owner there? I go, hi, this is Cameron. Is the owner available? And they go, no. I don't even let them finish the sentence. I just hang up and call the next person. I'm not going to lie. I used to, when I initially started, I'd let them speak. They're like, oh, yeah, I'll take your name, your email, your mother's name, your grandma's name. They take everything and they never call you
Yeah, I
back.
know, man.
I
I know,
literally,
man.
if they say the owner's not available, I hang up, I go to the next person. Because I'd say, I mean, in the UK, you can kind of tell because there's like business numbers and then there's like personal numbers. Now, some Google Maps businesses are set up to the owner's personal number. So every number, for example, in the UK that starts with a 7, I can tell the likelihood of that being the owner is significantly higher. So I kind of tend to focus purely on those numbers. I don't know if it's the same I'm not sure where you are, but yeah, that's basically how it works in the UK. But if a gatekeeper answers, I hang up and I call the next person, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, I love that. Basically, yeah, I waste so much time leaving them an email, my information, maybe a voicemail too. It just feels like a waste of time, man. I've been bashing my head on the wall for a couple. Anyway, so basically, what is like on ratio? What is the most effective platform for you? Is it SMS, the cold outreach, cold phone, cold calls,
Definitely
Instagram
cold
DMs?
calling.
What is it?
Definitely cold call. I mean,
Definitely cold calling.
I did 41 calls yesterday. 13 of them answered, and I booked 4 calls from that. So that's like a very high probability. Now, this is the thing that you've got to keep into account as well, especially in SMMA. A significant amount of them aren't going to turn up. Now, I've started tracking how many don't turn up, how many do, and then how many turn up to the second call. But if you just keep them in one place, because some aren't, I mean, I'd say about 75% that you book in for a call aren't going to turn up. So then from there, follow up with them, and then,
Is that 75, you said?
I'd say roughly about 75% of those people you book in for a call won't turn up. With cold outreach,
Okay.
I've found in my case, unless you're, they're genuine, like very, very interested in you're staying in contact throughout that period. Now, I would keep following up with them before the call as well to kind of build that connection. And then if they don't turn up, because I've had some like really interested people not even turn up for 2-3 calls, just keep following up, the next day. And I like to kind of present, you need to make sure you kind of have the power on the phone. So if they say, oh, just drop me an email, I just go, for example, today, this one was like, oh, drop me an email, just send me it. I go, tell you what, Kerry, I'm going to schedule us for Monday at 4 p.m. If you can't make it, you can call me and let me know. How does that sound? and then, and I just schedule them in, and then they're just like, oh, all right, bye. And then I'll call them Monday.
It's like Grant Cardone reincarnated right here.
Yeah, the
Pretty much.
10x, man. All right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's very useful information. I will try to implement. Even though I'm operating in the US, specifically on Chicago right now, and I cannot seem to get personal like phones. I usually speak to the front desk right away, and yeah, even the owner might actually be busy.
Yeah, no,
like
they
genuinely
usually
be
are.
busy. So you're
Do
screwed
they?
either way.
How do you start it? Do you kind of pitch the receptionist, or how are you going about that?
No, never pitch the receptionist unless unless I have given up on contacting the owner. So basically, I'll try to get the owner. I'll be like, "Hey, is the owner around?" or something like that. Or basically, I have also tried this new method, which actually goes something like you basically say, "I'm looking to send to you like 15 new clients. To whom can I talk to about that? Do you know anyone that would be, someone I can talk to, basically?"
Yeah. Now,
And of course, that would be the owner.
Now, my advice on that is try come across as away from us. How do I say this? Don't come across as a salesman. That's what I see success with. Pretend. I mean, if they ask what's it about, I go, it's a personal inquiry that I just want to make sure I speak to the owner about. That's all. So I don't talk anything about business. And if they sometimes you get some assholes, man, I'm not gonna lie, and they're like, well, they're not gonna pick up, so just tell me. And I'm like, no, it's fine. If the owner wants to hear, just tell them to call me at 07495. Then I'll just tell my number. Then I'll call them back the next day. Hi, is the owner around? Hi, is the owner around? Then eventually it kind of builds intrigue. So the owner finally calls you back and they're like, hi, you've been trying to contact me for like 2 weeks. What's up? And then you can pitch them, and then they know you're kind of serious about it because you've been following up religiously, pretty much. But yeah, that's another way to go about it.
Cool. Good stuff.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot for that.
No worries.
All right.
Wait, George,
So
what is
I'm
your...
wishing you the
sorry,
best of luck
anyone
and
else?
congratulations. Yeah, what's that?
What niche are you in?
Basically, I'm
Like
also in the
what
medical spa niche.
medical spa? Okay. One really good tip I can give you is another program that a lot of you guys can use called Apollo IO. And they have this feature where they're connected to LinkedIn, and you can filter by how many employees. And what I do with my flooring specifically, because I used to work flooring, so I know that the lower the employees, the more likely it is that they don't have an office. There's kind of like a just set up with like 2 vans, and like the main phone number is the owner. So you can set it up and where like, okay, less than like 10 employees, that'd be the max. There's a very high likelihood that the receptionist is either like a family friend or something, or they know them personally, and it's like a really small like mom and pop shop. So it's a very good likely either the receptionist is near the owner or it's the actual owner themselves. So I would use that program, and the premium version, you just keep on using burner emails, like temp emails, just make new accounts and stuff. So that's
Yeah, we had somebody else like last week, I think, talked about that software as well, who really liked it. So yeah, I've heard multiple people talk about Apollo.io right now. Yeah, good stuff. Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the right for sure. Thanks.
Yeah, Joseph, did you have any question as well?
Yeah, I sent this into the Facebook group, but it kind of just got buried. But I was wondering what's the purpose of the booked appointments for like service-based niches for like home service? Like you guys do booked appointments for the roofing companies, and flooring isn't too different in that sense. What would be like the benefit to the business of getting those booked appointments?
Okay, I zoomed out. You basically, the question is the benefit for the business that we help to generate not only leads but also booked appointments.
Yeah.
So it's some of our clients actually don't like the self-booking because they have multiple sources in, so they much rather just get the leads and call them and kind of they have like an office manager who does that for them. However, some of our clients really like to have the self-booked appointments. You can do like the round robin, and we add all of their sales reps in there, and then kind of handles itself. I don't know how it is in the roof or in the flooring niche, but in the roofing niche, they normally have like project management tools like Job Nimbus and AccuLinks, so we can kind of connect it so that the softwares can speak to each other. But it's just some people really like it, some people don't like it. Most of our clients use it, and the conversion rate can range from like 30 to 40% of all the leads that self-book, and we have some clients who have like 80 to 90% who self-book. So
wow.
Yeah, and we're doing the exact same campaign. It's just like different areas essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking with my media buyer, and he said it's just better to just put their phone number in the ad and a QR code to get to the website, just put their information in. And the booking's like not really worth it, but yeah, that helps a lot.
Cool. Interesting. I haven't heard about that ad, like a QR code and phone number, but is it working or like for leads?
He said in the carpet industry, he says it's working really well because the cool thing about YouTube ads is you don't pay unless they watch 30 seconds of it, or it's like really reduced if they don't.
Oh, you do YouTube ads?
So it's cool. Yeah.
Cool stuff. You have a really good media buyer team as well, right? That's good, man.
So theoretically you can get really cheap leads if they don't watch 30 seconds. And that's like a really big pitching point I use in cold calls. Like, yeah, YouTube ads are really great because you could just get free leads if you really wanted to. So
yeah,
I got a few calls like that.
Nice.
But yeah, anybody who's like in the service industry like that, where phone numbers are used, I would use YouTube ads if you start early in the process.
Yeah, I might actually reach out to you a little bit more regarding that. Actually, I might be interested to see what you do for roofing.
Yeah,
cool, good stuff. Yeah, that's nice, man.
Yeah.
Finding a good media buyer, it's like it's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's do Syed. I saw that you wrote the question as well, and I haven't. Let's go. Yeah, nice meeting you.
First of all, I like to introduce myself. My name is Syed. I watched your entire course. You're doing God's work, first of all. And second, I wanted to ask you the one problem that I run into over and over again. I've been outreaching since, I guess, September. And every call that I get on, these people basically tell me that this is something along the lines of you'll make more money and get paid if you get paid a percentage when we close, as opposed to your base retainer. And this is the main problem that I get. They're like, why should we pay you upfront for anything? Outlay of money before performance. That doesn't sit well with them.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
I even tried to modify my offer and tried to make it so that, okay, I'm gonna make it so that it's pay per appointment. So every time I move an opportunity into the, what do you call it, the meeting set tab, their Stripe gets auto charged. There's an automation in Go High Level to do this, by the way. And they still didn't agree. They're like, what if the appointment no shows? What if they lied on the survey? I'm in the solar niche, by the way. What if they're not actually a homeowner? What if they don't have a credit score of 620? What if they were just looking around? They have so many what ifs and they want guaranteed results. So I don't know what to do about this.
Yeah. And first of all, I appreciate the words a ton, man. That's means a lot. And how that's good that you're in the solar niche as well, because that would be my question, kind of what your niche you're in. And that's the reason as well why we only want to help companies making at least 1 million or $2 or $3 million per year, because we normally never get those objections. Normally it's the smaller solar companies want to get a great deal. If it's a bigger solar companies already making $1 to $3 million per year or even 5 million, they're already spending so much money into ads. So if you come to them with a new solution that they're interested in, like paying a management fee of $3,000 or even $4,000 per month, it's not a big thing for them because they already have an advertising budget of like $20 or $30 or $50,000 per month. So I would definitely think about that to see if you can already now actually to only like have that, because that makes your offer more exclusive as well, that you can tell them that, you know, we're only working with solar companies making at least $1 million per year. That makes it more appealing as well because you're focused on that sub niche of the niche, and your clients are going to be a lot easier to work with. And yeah, that's basically what I would answer to that.
Yeah, but it's difficult to get a hold of these guys when you're just cold calling. I mean, it must be easy when people are coming to you and they're qualifying themselves because they're coming through a funnel because you're running paid ads. For me, I'm just cold outreaching. I'm cold calling. That's my main way to get clients. And then I have Facebook DMs as well. But over here, you can't be really picky with that. Like I'm grateful that someone agrees to get on a call with me. Even that is a big deal for me.
Yeah.
Because I only book about 8 calls a week and only 4 of them show up, or maybe three people show up.
Yep. Do you have companies in the US or elsewhere?
It's my LLC is based in UAE, United Arab Emirates.
Okay, so you help companies only there. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
No. Sorry, I'm outreaching to people in the US.
Okay, got you.
My own LLC is over here.
Okay, got you. Okay. I would still like, because that's kind of the thing in the beginning is right. Like before you get the like ball moving, I always envision it like as a hill. And in the beginning, you have to like push the stone so much. You have to put a ton of effort and time into it to like pushing that stone up the hill. But once you get the stone up the hill and it starts to run by itself, it starts to compound. You get referrals, you get testimonials, you get all of that good stuff. So in the beginning, it's just kind of the name of the game. And the way you can kind of, here's the thing, even though if it's tough, even though you kind of want as many people as possible to talk to, I would still recommend that you try to find companies making $1 to $3 million per year, because even if you get a smaller client who's not as established, it's going to give you so much headache down the line, because they might want to end the service, or they sign the contract and pay you, but the internal business operations are not in place and they can't handle the leads, and it's just becomes a mess. So you're going to make yourself a service if maybe you don't get as many calls per week if you focus on the companies making $1 to $3 million per year, but you're going to get higher quality calls. And when you finally land a client, you're going to have a better client to work with, essentially. So, yeah.
And how do you reckon we get a hold of these guys? Because the owner is not readily available.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No, that was it.
Okay. I would just do exactly what you do right now, whether if it's like organic outreach or if you're calling them. One way that for me, it's pretty easy to see if a roofing or solar company making more than $1 million per year. Normally, you can just kind of, if you go to the website or their Instagram or socials, and you see that they have some photos of like a team, like an in-house team, and there are actually some people in there, and they have some shirts and some trucks with their logos on and so forth, they're most likely, then they're like established. They're most likely making $1 to $2 or $3 million plus per year. So I would just reach out to those companies who kind of have like an appearance online that looks somewhat established, and only reach out to those, essentially. And also use that in your outreach as well, that you're only working with solar companies making more than $1 million per year. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think is the best way to get to their owner? Because the bigger the company is, the more difficult it is to get the owners to take the time out of day to be able to sit with you.
Yeah, so in the roofing niche, though, I feel like it's pretty easy to identify the owners. Like, for example, if you use LinkedIn, you can identify them there. There's a like roofing industry as well, and solar. They're getting more like digital. They've been very offline for a long period of time, and a lot of roofing and solar business owners are getting more online. So they're not that hard to find. And then I would just either, if you can find the phone numbers, to call them directly. That might be tougher, actually. I don't know. I haven't done that as much, but utilizing DMs and or LinkedIn or Facebook or email and doing them very, very personalized with maybe a Loom video and really showing to them that, it's very personalized strictly towards them. That's what I would do. Again, less quantity, but super higher quality, and also identify every single person that you reach out to and continue to follow up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Max.
Yeah. No worries. And keep up to date how it goes, since we're pretty much in the same niche. I can help you a lot, I think so.
Perfect. I'll be on these calls. I couldn't make it to the last call, unfortunately, because I had a sales call and that guy didn't buy because he just wanted to look around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing as well. It's going to help you a lot when you have the bigger companies that they are actually more serious. So yeah, good stuff. All right. Is it Mohammed now right now? It's the Mohammed, and then we do Katab, and then yeah, let's go.
Cool. So Max, I was actually watching a video you just posted 12 hours ago, was it? The sales call?
Yeah.
I watched the whole video. It was really, really interesting. But I noticed something at the end where you guys are talking about the retainer, and he kind of tried to switch it to kind of like a contract-based type thing. So I was just thinking this to myself. I was like, have you ever been in a situation where the clients tried to bargain with the retainer? So for example, I'm probably going to offer a 1,500 retainer, but they turn back to me oh, we can't do 1,500, we can do 1K, or we can do 1,200. How would you respond to that kind of question? And kind of stay stern, or how would you do it? Be flexible?
Yeah. Great question. First of all, I would actually go out of the gate with a higher price. I would do at least 2,000 or 2,500. But here's the thing. Here's kind of how I utilize that if they kind of want to pitch us on price or get it down on price. I normally say we normally don't do that. I begin with saying, and then also I go back to our client cap, because I begin the call with saying, we're only helping 25 clients. That's our cap. And we're looking for 2 or 3 more clients right now. And so if they want to basically bargain on price, you can just tell them that, we normally don't do that. And for us, it really doesn't make sense because we can just find another client essentially and kind of fill that gap. So why would we kind of bargain on price and lock in your 1 client per area, like ours, 1 client per area policy as well, lock in a client for cheaper when we can just find another client in that area that pays us the full price essentially. But but then sometimes something happened, or the market goes down, or you maybe have a little bit worse results when it's back to school or in December or whatever it might be, and then they can kind of get leverage over you, so they ask you for $500 cheaper for a couple of months. Some people like to bargain, and sometimes you have to play around with them. And but just make sure that if you're willing to go down in price as well, just make sure that you get a decision now. If they want something from you, you want something from them as well. So
so creating that scarcity, right?
Yeah.
And also with ad spend, you kind of do it's separated into 2 things, like retargeting and actual ad spend, right? Is that how you do it? So what would you say is a minimum ad spend, and what would you say is a minimum retargeting that you would want for a client for them to get results?
And it depends on the niche as well. What's your niche now again? I have so many.
Real estate.
Real estate, cool. So when prospects ask me this on the calls, I normally say that, it doesn't really make sense if you're going to spend, if you don't have the budget to spend at least $2,000 per month, I don't think paid ads is good for you. Then you should look for other avenues essentially. So normally I say if $80 per day is a good start, or $100 per day. So that's $2,500 or $2,500 or $3,000 per month, somewhere in that range. I would say that is a good start. And in terms of retargeting, we normally spend most of the money into the cold campaigns just to find new people. And then for retargeting, we spend $10 per day on Meta, and $10 per day, $5 to $10 per day on AdRoom, essentially. Yeah.
Do you think 2,000 ad spend, like, because obviously real estate agents, they work for themselves, right? Would that be a lot for, and then you include the service fee, which is like $2,000, so it's like $4,000, right?
Yeah, good question. So here's the thing as well, like that it goes back to what niche you're in, and I have no experience in the real estate niche. I know of a really good, yeah, sorry, you can
I
go.
asked my media buyer, he said 600 was like good, like minimum, and he said 1,000 was like good.
Okay. Yeah. Like it just goes back to positioning as well. I much rather focus on the bigger companies who can spend more because again, a few clients that want to scale. But I know of a really good real estate agency called Lead Jolt. If you've checked those out, have you heard about
Yeah,
that?
I think I've seen that website. Yeah, I've seen that
because
website.
I think, or I've heard that they're pretty successful in the real estate niche. So, and I think they're charging like $1,500 per month or something like that for their services. And maybe you can find some information there, how much they spend, but maybe that's the name of the game in the real estate niche, to have lower prices and serve more of them. I have no personal experience.
Because obviously they're not well like established, big businesses in that. And also, just sorry, one more question with the contract. When would you say is a good time to register like a business? And like also to everyone here in the call, does anyone have a registered business yet?
Yep. So Johan, right? Yeah, Johan does.
Yeah,
Liam does
but
as well.
mine is in Estonia, but it's super easy. Actually, the only thing you need to do is, but this is in Europe. I don't know if it's worth for you, but I created my company in 2 days, so it's super easy, and I didn't pay not even 1 year on taxes yet. So yeah, for 12 months. So just saying that.
Yeah, I need to think about that. I mean, it crossed my mind. I don't think I need to think about it as of now, but when I get paid, then I kind of need to figure that out. I don't really know how I do it though. At 16, I don't even know if you can do it.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, would it be better just to get a few clients in, register, or just registering at the start?
That's what I'm doing, but Max is the more experienced in that sector. I have no idea.
No, but I agree. Like the whole thing about a business, like why do you even need a business? It's because to make money, right? You only have a business to make money at the end of the day, obviously to help people, but like you don't have a business if you don't make money into the business. So fix that first, like get money coming in, and then you can like, find an accountant or start a business. Or normally it's super simple here in Sweden. You kind of step by step on a website, you do it and you get it done. So yeah.
Cheers, Max. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no worries. Good stuff. All right. Katab.
Hey, so my question is, I'm gonna start like doing cold outreach. I have like a process that I'm gonna do. Should I use the existing CRM, like the Go High Level, and then use that, like convert, like let's say I'm calling someone, instead of booking them, direct them into the funnel, and then use that funnel to like, watch the website and go through the VSL? Or should I just separate like my organic outreach from the CRM and use that for only paid advertising later? Kind of.
Yeah, awesome question. So you should definitely do like a separate thing. I'm sure you can do it inside of High Level as well, but I think it's good to have the High Level for kind of the funnel side of things. You can kind of just see in different stages are to have like a sales pipeline there. But if you're doing, then your question is basically if you're doing organic outreach, a ton of calls and so forth. I know that Cameron can speak a lot on this as well. In the course, I gave away like a Google Sheets, right, where you can kind of write it in and so forth.
Yeah, that's what I'm using right now.
Yeah, for organic outreach, like that's more than enough. But then you can use. I know that Cameron uses Notion for like all of his calls and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
and he has like a
it's
complex
great.
system for that. Yeah.
No, it's just I found some template. I swear it got dropped in this group, or it was some group. I can't remember, but I saw it and I clicked on it. I was like, this is pretty cool. So then I can just check every day, and I just update every person that I call as I call them, so I know exactly who to follow up with and when. Pretty much, just saves me a lot of time, forgetting things, and I know exactly when to follow up with people and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
if
try
you
that
find
out.
that link, maybe we can drop it again in a group or something.
It was some guy that's in this group.
Maybe you can
Some
search
guy-
for it.
He's got his own group. Oh, I can't remember what he's called now. I don't know. I'll try find it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Awesome. That's my question.
Cool. Let's see. All right. Let's go.
Yeah. So if I offer pay at the end of the month, how will I change up my contract?
If you do what? Sorry, if you pay at the end of the month?
Yeah, exactly.
So you mean like if you sign a client but they don't pay you up front, they actually pay you after?
Yeah.
And basically how you would change the contract to basically.
Exactly.
I'm not sure in the contract right now that we're even writing when you get paid. So, because I don't think, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think we mentioned that you're gonna get paid up front, or maybe we do.
What we say in the contract is that you basically get the payment done first, and then it's charged every 30 days.
Yes, you're correct.
That's the only thing you mentioned in the contract. Yeah.
Yeah. So either you can just change the line, something like change the context of that, just to say that, you know, you're getting paid later. I wouldn't recommend it though. I would recommend to get paid up front. Just because it shows that the client is more serious. You know, they pay you and then they sign the contract and then you're ready to go. If you go that model, obviously you can use another model of like retain or performance based or something like that. So you would have to change it. I don't know if there's anybody else in here who kind of changed the contract to that, but or you can like find a writer or something.
Wait,
that can
changed it to what? Sorry, because I've got 2 variants in my contract.
Yeah, he's basically asking, you know, if you're not getting paid up front, but you have like a service-based thing where you're getting paid like at the end of the month after you've done the work. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. I tweaked yours, Max, but I got quite lucky. So I had this woman that I was going to sign, and she had a lawyer, and she wrote me out an entire contract.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. But she kind of she made it so it was more like friendly for the client to read as well. But it don't really change anything. So I kind of just made it so. Yeah, I kind of just tweaked yours, Max, to be honest. But I've got like a pay per appointment one as well. So I've got someone signed on that. So it's like they pay. I would recommend that as well, because that's a great thing to kind of pitch someone if you want to get paid kind of straight away. So I get paid per appointment in the first month. And then after that, it's like a monthly payment pretty much.
Okay. And also a question for Joseph. And you mentioned the software, lead scraping software.
Yeah,
was
there's
the
2
name?
of them. The first one, which is like called Phantom Buster.
Phantom Buster. All right.
Yeah, and that one is like, it's a little bit more like, I don't know, you just have to experiment with it.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of, like in my experience for my niche, it just takes a while just to find the right keywords, and then you can just like keep running it every once in a while to get more leads.
Yeah.
And the second one is Apollo IO, which is really good if you want like really controlled like leads for like phone numbers. It's really good. And if you pay a little money, you can pay for premium. And I think it's like $300 a month, which I'm not. I just do free trials over and over again. But you get $300 a month, and you can you can get their mobile phone number, which is really nice for cold calls, because you can just call them directly and they're like, "Oh, how'd you get my number?" I'm like, I don't know, scraped off the internet. So yeah, those are 2 really powerful programs you can use.
Yeah. And one last question, Cameron, and how do you structure your outreach? Like, do you do a lot of Facebook, IG, or?
I do a bit. It's not really that effective though. I mean, it depends. The best way is always to just call them, to be honest. It always is gonna, well, I mean, debatable, but in my opinion, like just approaching someone head on, you know, actually communicating with them is the best way to get them booked in for an appointment. What I've seen, but Instagram and Facebook is great. If you can't call, you know, if you're in a situation where you can't call, then I would definitely do Instagram and Facebook. But if you're just scared of calling and you're putting it off.
No, I actually called a bit. So I made about 50 calls yesterday. So
yeah,
nice.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, just what I'd do is, you know, during the times that they're open, because I mean, if you don't have a client, I feel like the only thing you should kind of be focusing on is outreach, like 6 hours a day, 7. I mean, however long you're working, whenever places are open, just call. And then, when shit closes on the night time, people are more prone to answer DMs as well. So I just DM then.
It's kind of tight for me to like do 6 hours because I go to school, and after school
Yeah.
I go to the gym, and when I get home I'm all tired, but
Yeah, don't miss out on the gym.
yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
That's priority over anything.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
No
That
worries.
was all for me. Thanks.
So. All right, Cam.
I really can't remember what I was going to say now. it don't matter. I can't remember it.
Spitting value to everyone. Good stuff. That's awesome. No, but do you have any? What was your thing for next week? Did you say, Cam? Did you have any promise for next week?
Well, it's gonna be kind of hard to close clients on Christmas week. I mean, I've been getting so much. Everyone's like, "No, wait until after Christmas. Call me back after Christmas." But I don't really know. I mean,
we're not gonna even have a call next week, I think, right? We're gonna kickstart this at the end of the New Year, so maybe we can pick it up later.
I'm having Christmas Sunday, this Sunday, because my brother's going away. But so that means Christmas Day, I'm working.
Yeah, that's good.
But I don't know. I mean, I'll land 2 clients. I'll run 10K. I'll do that again.
Cool.
Is it the call tomorrow?
What call? Sorry, do you mean the
Q&A call? Do you have it tomorrow also, or?
No, I normally do 1 Q&A call a week, at least for now.
Right.
Maybe I do two later. I do like a live stream once per week as well, where I normally invite somebody from the But tomorrow it's not going to be a call. No.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. All right, George.
Can I ask something? All right. Basically, I heard somebody saying that something about SMSing like strangers, basically, that is illegal in the US. And I testified to that because I just Googled it. And basically, yeah, it's illegal to actually text an individual, or so to speak. But I would like to ask if it's also illegal. I cannot quite remember who brought this up, but I would like to ask if he's in here right now, if he knows if it's also illegal to actually text a business that is listed on Google, which basically has published their information.
You say that it's illegal?
I don't think it is illegal, right? Have you Googled it now in the US that it's completely legal to? Because I know about the GDPR in the EU, right? That you have to have you have to check a box for the GDPR to kind of be able to text message people. But I don't think that's the case in the US, or at least I haven't heard about it.
No, that actually the thing is that it's not illegal. It's kind of in the gray area, honestly. But it's like you can text someone, but with their consent. So if you just directly cold text someone and maybe do a couple of follow-ups, and they get annoyed and maybe press charges on you or something, then you can get like fined $500 per SMS that you've sent. So that can be a lot of money, honestly. So that's why I've been avoiding per SMS that you send. Depending upon the jurisdiction, it can vary, but yeah, that's what I've read, and from my research that's what I found. So that's why I'm not doing that. I'm just doing like Instagram DMs, Facebook DMs, and stuff like that.
Actually, the reason I brought this up is because from the very few searches I just made, I saw that it is illegal, indeed, in some states of the United States to text an individual, like I said, okay? You're not allowed to do that straight out of the blue, and he can press charges on you. But the question I have is, would it be also illegal to, as an individual, text a business that is listed on Google, meaning that they have published publicly their information, their phone numbers, everything? Would that be illegal too?
No, it's not illegal, but it's not illegal. But if you're doing it without their consent and they get annoyed, then they also can press charges. That's the thing.
All right.
But yeah, most of the times it doesn't happen. But like if you are doing like 10,000 SMSs maybe in 2 months, then there's a high chance that one of them is probably going to be a person like that.
And also,
Well,
obviously,
some-
something that you
yeah.
don't have to worry about with the automations is that, you know, if you generate lead for clients, I guess you don't have to worry about that, right? Because people actually give you their information, and then you can have in your privacy policy that you're going to follow up with them. So I guess it's more so when you do like cold outreach to people, that's one thing. If you're just going to blast people out of the blue, as you said. But if you follow up with people with an automation where they've left their information, that's not the thing. If you have it like mentioned in the privacy policy and stuff. So.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
more concerned about the last thing you mentioned, Max, about texting a business cold, you know, basically doing it cold. And this is because actually, I get that if you text like 1,000 people, you might fall on somebody that wants to press charges on you because it hit them the wrong way. But the thing is, even if you do like 100 or 200, eventually you have chances to, you know, you might get unlucky on that. So I would like to know if it's something I can rely on, regardless of if I'm doing 1,000 a day, 2,000 a day, or just 100. Because if there is the potential for someone to press charges on me, and you know, it'd be very bad situation to be in. So I'm gonna have to look further into this, definitely.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
honestly,
worry. Yeah, you can go, Harsh.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't recommend it because what happened with my friend is that he was doing these like 100 to 200 SMSs a day, and there were a couple of people that were calling him and they were straight up shouting and threatening him to press charges after like 5 days only. He's not in the med Spanish, but yeah, I mean it's scary stuff, man. So I would stay away from it, honestly. That's what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
But from where do you get the numbers?
Google My Business generally. So Google Maps.
Okay.
All right. Okay, cool. Did you have anything else, George, by the way?
Yeah, just a second. I have one last thing. Okay, basically this actually regards if anybody knows about following up with cold calls, because you might get a first call in the business. So, you know, basically you might not get in touch with the owner. So what is like a good strategy? Or if anyone has an idea or something, you know, very constructive to think of about the second call or how you should approach this.
Like to follow up on the cold call, you mean, if they don't answer?
Yeah, exactly.
I would just continue to call, essentially. I would just, like, the most important thing is that you just take notes of it. So, like, take note of when you called and what happened, essentially, and then just give it a couple of more days and just call again, essentially. That's what I would do.
Max, would you use the same pitch for that?
For the follow-up
same
call?
opener line? Yeah, for the second phone call.
If they don't pick up, then you can just use the same, right? If they haven't picked up, if you haven't pitched to them.
Course.
But then, you know, if you call a second time, it's a lot more easier because now you can just kind of assume that you know who you are already, and you can just kind of dig into the point. Like, you know, what did you think about what we spoke about last time? Yeah, I have no idea. What did we speak? Yeah, you So you can just kind of bring it up again and just kind of have the close in mind where you want to guide them. So what I would use a lot is, like, you can do something like, I can text you a link, you can book your own call, or do you want me to book the call for you right now? I can do it on next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Does that work for you? Yada, yada, you know, kind of just go for the close, essentially. It's what I would do to get them on a call on the computer, on the Zoom, and do the presentation for them. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, cool. I'll get somebody.
So that's all I have for you.
Cool. Yeah, good stuff.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Luis.
Hey, could you hear me fine?
Yes. How you
All
been?
right, awesome. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not turning on my camera right now. I'm out of town on top of a roof, actually, fixing the roof. Anyway, my question was, when like doing I know a lot of people in SMA do the offer where you have a base fee and then you get, I don't know, say 10% of the profits and of the business that you provide for them. And I was just wondering, like, whether how do you get knowledge of that? How do you know how much profit the company made? Do they tell you? Do you get access of like their stuff? How does that work?
Yeah, great questions. So that's the thing, right? Like you don't, and that's why we don't use that right now, because we haven't had like a solution to actually track the revenue that they're making. I want to figure that out. I know that you can use like a tool like Hyros to, basically what you can do with Hyros is that you can track your ads. So you can actually see where the leads are coming from that turns into booked appointments and clients. So you can connect Stripe into Hyros. So when they make a sale in Stripe, let's say, or if they use that payment processor, you can identify the email from that sale to like the email from the lead that you generated. And then that way you can kind of track the sales. And I've been in contact with Hyros and been on a couple of calls with them, and it's kind of working, but I know that they're working more and more towards that, to have like a complete tracking solution where they can track everything, and they're not really there yet. But again, I haven't used it fully, so I can't really speak of it. But if, in my case, at least, if I'm going to get like a revenue share or a profit share, or whatever it might be, I want to be able to track everything exactly, not only take their word for it. And like, because they hold the books, right? They know exactly how many sales they're doing. I have no idea. So that's why we only stick with the management fee right now. But I'm very interested in being able to track everything and all of the sales, because, you know, let's say you have that client I talked to today that made $30 million in a year this year. And, you know, imagine if we had a little rev share on that, it could be quite a bit. So, yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Also, like another thing I wanted to know, what's the name of the song you use in the background of your course?
Good question. I don't know. I can look it up. I have it saved somewhere. Did you like it, or is it just stuck in your head, or you want to delete it forever? Or?
Actually, yeah, because I could barely hear it. It's really low in the background, and it's sort of a tune that keeps playing occasionally in my head. And I just wanted to listen to it isolated.
Oh yeah, I can send it to you. I have it on my computer. It's from Epidemic Sound or something like that. I can send it to you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, let's do the final questions here. Let's do Cam and then Site. We can't hear you, brother.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right. So what I was going to say is I could probably just look this up, but I think it'd probably be best to kind of ask someone who's you know, got a lot of experience. Now, you know, from your experience, how long does it take for, is there like a set period where you won't see leads coming through an ad? Is there like a set amount of time that it kind of, I mean, I have no idea how they work. So should leads be coming in within the first day, or should it take, you know, a week, or, you know, from your experience?
If you have a good offer and you have good targeting and have a good funnel and it's working, like you're literally getting leads from day one, like immediately when you start it. So, however, you don't want to judge your ad copy too quick, because in some niches and some areas, it might be lower on the weekend or whatever. It's always different. There's no rule to it really. Right. But let's say you run this for like 3 days or 2 days, really like 2 or 3 days, and you're not getting any leads, and it's just, you know, I would just turn it off and do a new test. And if that does work after 1 or 2 days, I would just do a new test essentially. Right. And yeah, and because now you're in that position, Cam, where it's kind of stressful, right? You're like, fuck, I have to make this work. But that's good, because now you're like forced to get it to work. And once you do, it's going to be really, really good. So
yeah. I mean, obviously this has been the first day. I'm kind of just sat there every now and again, just looking it up, see if a lead's come through. But it's probably not the way to go about it, because it's kind of literally, you know, just letting it set for a few days, as you said. And then after 2 days, if I don't see any leads come through, then kind of, should I just swap one of those factors and then run it again? And then, or what would you do? Swap the entire approach? Or
I would keep the targeting the same, just broad. I would keep that the same, just to have one campaign, one ad, or one campaign, one ad set, and then have like 5 to 10 ads. The ad copy, basically what you need to figure out right now is the ad copy and the offer, what works. So that's one thing. And you also need to figure out kind of what ad creatives to use. I know that you showed some ad creatives. Are you testing any ad creatives, like photos of people from within the business right now? Have you get it?
So I've got one ad creative, which is, so I kind of got this from inspiration from Thomas Gonnet. It's like, so he does it like liposuction, the surgical option, in comparison to body sculpting, which is like, you know, non-surgical. So I've took the same kind of principle and added it to bum fillers, which is the ad I'm running. So it's like dermal bum fillers, which is the one I'm running about, which is like non-surgical instant results, compared to BBLs, which is like 10 times the price. You know, it's very, very risky. So I've kind of done that and compared the two in the ad. I can show you it anyway after the call if that's all right. But then on top of that, I'm running another ad which is basically just my client in her spa with 2 patients just stood there like smiling. So it's kind of like a photo testimonial in a way.
Yeah, I like those photos. That normally works really good for us.
Yeah.
We normally don't like to use too many photos of like, where you've edited too much, but maybe that works in that niche. But
yeah, well, I kind of got that from you actually, the photo testimonial. So I'm going to test that out and see how that goes because that's scheduled for tomorrow. So
yeah, and also people, when they're gonna like book an appointment with a specific company and you're gonna do bum filler or whatever, that's kind of you kind of want to know who is gonna help me. So if people in the ad can see, okay, this is what the people look like from within the business, that normally works really good. So I would just select like 5 to 10 really good photos, do the dynamic creative as we talked about. Maybe you even relaunch the ad set like tomorrow because it's not working right now, and then just test different headlines and different body copy, and really focus on the offer. Like, what do people want? And just mention that, really press on that. Like, here's something that you want, and here's like the urgency. Here's why you should click on the ad now. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I just got to test it out because I mean, I don't want to talk too soon. This is obviously the first day, but no leads have come through as of yet. Now we'll see. Anyway, there's still another 7 hours or so where I am, but Yeah,
and something we can look at as well is your actual lead form. If you can make that a little bit easier as well. Like, the more questions you have, the less leads you get.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
But make sure you don't do any changes from today and tomorrow, okay? Just keep it running for 1 or 2 days. You have it in the same post.
Yeah.
And today I'm having a fucking horrible day in terms of cost per click, but no worries. It's also a new account from what I heard. So it's new pixel, everything. So take 1 or 2 days and probably how much money did you spend? $7, something like that already?
So far, bear with me. I've got it. £6.82.
Yeah, that's
how
nothing,
much?
man.
Exactly. I know you're stressed and you're nervous about
Actually,
that.
no, £7.27 now. Just refreshed.
It's too early. Leave it for at least what's your daily budget?
£15.
Okay, yeah. Like, you might get leads for $20. I don't know how your niche works, or maybe
it's I mean, I've been looking at a few other medical spa agencies, and they say on average they get leads for £4 to £7.
Okay, but
is that on the UK or on the USA?
UK.
Okay, on the UK.
No,
okay.
USA. Sorry, USA. So would it kind of fluctuate depending on the area as well?
Yeah, because like the country, it changed a lot. I'm advertising over 17 countries, and I can do exactly the same campaign, and the results are completely different. Like completely different. There's some that, for example, the cost per click is super high, but then the conversion rate is really good. On some, then the cost per click is so low, but the conversion rate it's so bad. So trust me, keep it for 2 days, and then if you want to check it with me or Max, we can take a look.
Yeah. Thank you.
But don't touch anything on the first 1 or 2 days.
I won't. I'm not going to touch anything.
Yeah. Experience talking right there. That's
indeed.
Very true. Yeah.
Shout out to, is it Joanne? It is Joanne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he helped me out massively, to be honest. Kind of walked me through what I needed to do when running the ads. So yeah, he's the ad guy pretty much.
Nice, cool stuff. Love to hear it. Okay, Syed, let's go.
Yeah, this isn't so much of an advice question. I just wanted to ask you something like, how long did it take you to land your first client?
So I did cold email, and I think I blasted people essentially, right? I know somebody got in here, but I basically blasted email. Like, I did the old way or whatever I talk about in the course, where basically something like I scraped like 300 to 400 a day and just blasted. Pretty much no one answered, but then I got one book call from Nolan's Roofing, which is top 100, top 50 roofing contractor really in the US. I got a call and I got the first sale, and I think it was like 30 to 45 days into it or something like that. And I got my first client, but then it took me a long time to kind of get my second and third client as well, because I had to figure out the service delivery and so forth. And I saw that you wrote your question here as well, right? That you've been doing it for a couple of months now and it's getting frustrated, right? Yeah.
So did you have any kind of sales experience when you got on that call?
A little bit. I did, or I had like a client here in Sweden, and but it was the first time I sold to people in the US, and I've told the story in this Q&A calls a couple of times now. I was so like nervous. I had no saliva in my mouth, and I did the call over Skype, so we didn't do Zoom. But I was very prepared. Like I had a sales script in place. I knew my offer very, very well, and I honestly believe that doing sales right now, where you have Zoom and you can do pitch deck, makes it a lot easier. Do you have a pitch deck right now that you use when you?
I do have it, but people tend to get very bored of it for some reason. I did model it off of yours. There was this one guy who was like, yeah, just get to the numbers, get to the numbers. I ended the call on his face. I was like, no, if you want to be like this, if you want to be pushy, then I don't want to do business with you. And then I got him off the call. But with the pitch deck, I've seen like the calls start to take forever. Like sometimes calls stretch on for more than 45 minutes, and then they don't even end up buying for some reason. Because by the time I get to the end of it, I do the value stack, I do the price drop, and they're like, yeah, I need to think about it.
But it's good though. Like it sounds like you're doing the right thing, right? Because doing calls for 45 to an hour, that's still good, because you're still building that relationship and you're kind of guiding them closer to the sale. We rarely do the call or the sales on one call, because they're shopping around, right? And like that thing, like get to the numbers, that's a classical thing. It's when it's a lower tier company, because they don't care. They just want to find the cheapest price. They don't understand business really. They just want to find the cheapest thing. While if you find a business owner that is making more money and they kind of know the operations and so forth, they just want to find the best thing. Also, they look at price, but they really want to care more so about the best thing. So my goal on the first call is just to kind of present out myself and my offer to be better than everybody else. And it doesn't necessarily only have to be the service, but it's like, we're going to take care of you more than everybody else. I'm not saying it, but I'm just, we have X amount of clients. We're not working with anybody. We have a cap on the amount of money, or a requirement on the amount of money you make, and so on and so forth, right? So I'm basically telling them that that we can provide more value, or that we're going to spend more time with you than everybody else. So that's kind of my goal on the first call, essentially. Yeah.
And do you run into people that want to speak to your customers because they want references? They don't believe your testimonials because they're just screenshots. They want to speak to someone who's actually used your service.
Yes, that happens from time to time, but very rarely now, because now we have so many case studies and so many testimonials that it almost gets too much for them. It's like, if you're getting a lot of testimonials, it's like, hey, here's another one, and here's another one. It's like, okay, I normally say that, okay, I just want to showcase that, we have some experience under our belt helping residential roofing solo contractors with Facebook ads. So it's like, I'm doing that in the beginning of the call. So it's like in their brain, they're like, okay, he's legit, whatever. Like now you've boasted or whatever, right? But sometimes, but then I always say, like, if they still want the phone number, I normally say that, out of the respect for my clients, I don't like to do that. That's why we get video testimonials, because I used to give them the phone numbers in the past, and a ton of people started calling them and it didn't like that. So, but I can't stop you from like looking at the companies that we help and call them yourself if you want to do that. And they have to go through the receptionist and do the work themselves, essentially.
I see. Yeah, but when you started off, you must have felt a lot of sales resistance, like I feel personally.
Yes, man, for sure.
Especially like not being from the USA. They obviously have these biases because they can't get you. Let's say they have this in their head that, let's say this guy runs away with my money, or this guy doesn't deliver on what he's promising. I can't get him. I cannot sue him because he's not on US soil.
Yeah. Like the main thing that I focused on from the beginning is just the value for them, essentially. Like, just like with the pitch deck, try it. If you don't have too many testimonials or whatever, just showcase, like, focus on your service delivery, like your system that you're selling to them, and also ask them a lot of spin questions on the call. I don't know if you do that right now, but like try to really figure out
situation, problem, implication, need, payoff. Yeah, I have it memorized back of my head.
Yeah, so basically just showing to them that you care about their problem and want to find out what their problem is, essentially, and then just do a really good presentation. Do the best you can with that, and just continue, because eventually you're going to find a client. I promise you, if you just continue. But focus more on the higher tier clients, because I recognize that, that they're, just get to the price. I have had a ton of those calls as well. That's why we had like a requirement of at least $1 million per year. Rarely happens on those calls.
And I reckon the people that are the higher tier clients, they already have systems in place. They're already using high level, or they're using something. Then what is it that I can bring to them that's of value? I mean, they're already doing $1 million plus in revenue. So what they're doing is working.
Yeah, so like that's not like from my experience, not a lot of people actually use high level, or we have some people that have tried it in the past, but high level is just like a blank slate because you can do it in so many different ways. So even if they have tried high level before, I normally say, yeah, you know, but we have like, yeah, I would normally say that it is like a blank slate because you can build automations differently, the landing pages differently, and so on and so forth. And also, you know, that client that I talked about today that went from, I don't know what they started, but I think they were making like 10 or $12 million per year. Now this year they made 30. They were doing they had like 5 to 10 printing machines that wrote letters automatically. And they basically did that for a long time, like sending mails. So they weren't using any type of digital marketing, and now they use digital marketing, and we help them, and yada yada. So a lot of people, especially in the solar and roofing, are not using a lot of systems or online marketing like high level and so on and so forth. So yeah, some do, but not all, essentially. Yeah,
I see. It's just that like on these calls, sometimes I look into Facebook groups, I see many people they're still struggling with booking appointments. With me, I'm at the stage where I can book appointments. That's something that I'm content with. Yeah, if I do X amount of outreach, I'm gonna book X amount of appointments. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
My main constraint is just the sales as well as service delivery. I know how to deliver the service because I have ran my own e-commerce brand for over a year, and I've been using high level for the past 3 months to manage my own leads and to SMS blast them. I know how high level works completely. And obviously your tutorial, like, it helped me get over the fear of high level. Before that, I would look at high level and my mind would zone out.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
focus on qualification, essentially. Like qualify your leads more, essentially. If you have a lot of volume, but the quality isn't there, try to get the volume down and qualify them more, essentially. Be more, yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Yeah. And one last thing before I go log off, it's the fact that whenever I do get on to sales calls, oftentimes it's not the decision maker. You're in the same niche as I am, so you must relate to this. That when you contact, let's say, a solar company, it's very difficult to even get the decision maker on the call, especially if it's a big company. It's usually their marketing manager that gets on the call with me, or their sales manager that gets on the call with me. And they're like, yeah, we need confirmation from the higher ups. And when they get off, they don't ever come back.
Yeah. Okay. So just a quick thing. So, you know, when you do outreach and you do cold calling, you're hunting after them, right? So then the owner is like, okay, yeah, you marketing manager, take that call, whatever. In our case, we always get the inbound calls, right? So the owner is always there because they see our ad and they want to work with us. So, or they're interested in us. I almost always have the call with the owner. I don't even take the call if it's with the owner. But if you're doing cold outreach, then it's fine if it's a marketing manager. But what I would do then is to do at least a 2-call type of close, at least, or a 2-call setup where you don't give them the price. But on the first call with the marketing manager, just present the solution to him or her. And then you just tell them, you can even record the Zoom call, right? So you can say before, like, is it okay if we record the Zoom call and then I can send it to the owner afterwards or something like that? And then you pitch everything, go through everything, but you don't give them the price. Because if they're interested, then they book another call and then the owner is on that call and then you give them the price on that call. So that's how I would do it. Yeah.
Just walk them through high level. No need to put them through the pitch deck. Just walk them through high level.
Use the pitch deck, but just cut out the price drop at the end and the pricing. Yeah. So do everything in the pitch deck to the marketing manager and all of that, but don't show them the price. Yeah.
Okay. And as for, like, let's say when the owner gets on, you do the exact same thing, but this time you include the price.
Yeah. Then you could just say, like, did you watch the recording or did you watch my like VSL video? And if it says like, yeah, okay, perfect. Do you have any specific questions? And then you can just go through these questions. Like if, yeah, I don't know, how do the ads work or the high level work? And then you talk about that. And then you're like, is there anything else? He's like, no, that's good. And they're like, okay, should we talk about the offer and the pricing? And then you do the offer and the pricing. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Max. I hope to bring you some good news very soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you're gonna do. You're in a good niche, and I'm sure you're gonna work it out. Like, just give it some more time and just work on it. It's gonna be perfect. So, and I'm here to help as well.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
What you were mentioning, just a quick insight, it's important to understand that if you're doing outreaching, you're targeting local businesses. You're not focusing on big businesses because the end you're not going to tag to the decision maker. It's going to be the not the homeowner, the business owner, my bad. So it's a big difference, and it's really important to understand when you start making some money, make sure that you invest that money on ads, because then what you're going to be doing is instead of going to the people and showing what's your message, then you're already targeting the homeowner, and then with this ad you already explain what you do, so then they already can take the time, and then this is business that they are making $1 million or more. So what Max is telling you is really good. Just try to, from my experience as well, just try to go on that call, try to show it, and then try to sell it with the price. So just wanted to mention that thing. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's perfect. No doubt. And obviously, it is just a race to the, being able to run ads. That's what it is. The initial starting up of an agency, it's very difficult until you get enough capital to be able to start running ads. Then it's easy.
And then you get yeah, and then when you get referral program in place, it's like it's even easier. So
I feel like you just run into. I don't think it gets easier. I think you. Oh no, never mind. That's stupid. I just basically meant like, I feel like you run into bigger problems the bigger your scale. But then if you kind of look at it from a better perspective, it's like you're a lot further than a lot of people. So I'm sure you faced a lot of problems in your agency, Max, as you scaled up bigger than as someone with 0 clients. But I mean, I don't know. I've never scaled an agency, but you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, like then the question becomes how big an agency do you want to scale? Like I want to keep, like, my goal for this year is to get it on keep it on $1 million a year, or get it to $1 million per year. I don't want to take it bigger. I don't want to hire a bunch of people and all of that. But a lot of people do, like, they want to hire a team and so on and so forth.
And quick question, Max, how many people do you have hired at the minute? I think you already said this, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, so basically how it works right now is that we're basically 3 people from Sweden, and we all run our own agencies. We're kind of masterminding, we're kind of helping each other out. And then I have Gary, the media buyer, he's also his own. So I don't really have anybody hired. We're basically working on contractor basis for each other, and we're kind of helping each other out. And then I have a media buyer working on I'm basically the one who knows everything, but he's just setting up the campaigns, doing the onboarding, setting up all of that. But I keep my cost, keep my cost very, very low. And that's kind of what I want to teach later down the line as well, that as you scale, you can keep most of the money that you make as well. And you can invest it or whatever.
Yeah.
That's also why I recommend an SMMA, because you can just figure out how to do literally one type of campaign for one client, get great results. Just do that over and over again for 25 to 35 clients or whatever you want to do. To keep it simple, make a lot of money for your clients, make a lot of money for yourself, and just so
cool.
Hey,
I'll
Max,
let Joanne ask his question.
Oh, just quick thing, Max. Do you think you could add timestamps for these Q&A calls on YouTube, just for each question?
I would love to do that. I know that people have asked for that as well. Maybe I can get some help to do that from somebody. I guess it's you have to scroll through,
because it'd be really good. So if I missed a call, you can just each timestamp will be a question. You could just a suggestion for you anyway.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find some outsource that to something. That's a good idea, actually. I know that a lot of people, it will make it a lot easier. Cool, that's good. All right, I'm about to pee myself, so let's do the 2 final questions here, and let's end it for today. 2.5 hours in. It's awesome. I enjoyed this a ton, but I gotta continue the day as well. Joanne, I think it's
just go to the toilet if you need. I can't wait. Don't worry.
So, sorry?
Go to the toilet if you need. I can't wait.
No, it's fine. Let's go.
Yeah, I keep it short for you, but thank you. Something I heard that you're telling out on, I think it was on the course, that you basically, or on YouTube video, that now you only focus on the USA because of the mindset that they have and they want to grow, but you have one customer on Sweden or something like that. Did you also touch more of Norwegian countries in Europe, like Norway, Denmark, Finland? About that, you touch about these countries or not really?
So not really for my niche now with the roofing. I think it was a question from somebody helping roofers in, I don't know where it was, but basically the question was they kind of shut down for the year in December or something like that. And they kind of wonder what to do. So in the roofing and solar niche, I really like to only be in the US because they're basically running all year round. They really never stop. In some states they do, but in California or Florida or in the southern states, it's hurricanes are there all the time. And it's so it's just easier if, so no, I haven't really considered to do my niche here in the Europe. At least I'm gonna stick with the US. Yeah.
Okay, that was my question. That's it.
Okay. Cool. Good stuff, guys. Awesome to have you here. I'm like impressed that you guys are here for so long. It's awesome, and I enjoy it a lot. And to again, congratulations to Cam. Send me a link, Cam, and you get
Thank
paid.
you very much, man. All right, I appreciate it. I'll drop your message.
Yeah, that's good. Awesome. And also, we're not gonna do another Q&A call next week, right? No, we're gonna do the next one. We're gonna start it up again in January. And then we're going to do continue then. And also remember that the SMMA contest continues. So we're going to have the next winner at the end of January. And so, yeah, that's it. But I'm going to be active in the group and all of that going forward every single day through the next year as well. I'm not really going to stop working. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Awesome to have you guys here. All right.
Thank you very much, Max.
Yeah, thank you.
Everyone's going to be hustling next year. I'm excited.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Take care, man.
Awesome.
Thank you, Max.
Cheers, Max. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Take care, man.